Welcome to Christmas in Hawaii. Ke aloha mai no.
Mele kaliki maka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, sun to shine by day and all the stars to guide. Mele kaliki maka, it's Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas to you.
A week ago today, the Michigan State Spartans arrived in the island paradise, and Coach George Perlis let them have their heads for a few days. I mean, the landscape dressing back home, serving as a reminder a bowl game is supposed to be a reward. Michigan State is a big physical football team. Defense is led by All-American middle linebacker Percy Snow, number 48. The Spartans will run the football 2.5 times more often than they'll throw it, and tailback Blake Ezor does most of the running. The Hawaii Rainbows like to run too, but from a spread formation with options, and number 43, Jamal Farmer, rushed for 18 touchdowns this season. Hawaii's defense, swarming, darting, never quitting, like number 56, linebacker Mark Odom. All WAC conference, leading the conference in quarterback sacks. The headline read this week, Hustle versus Muscle. It fits, and Santa is bringing a big one for the winner.
Mele kaliki maka, it's Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas to you.
From Hawaii, the 8th Eagle Aloha Bowl. And it's a first in matchups this year. The University of Hawaii, first in an NCAA bowl game ever. And the Michigan State Spartans, the first Big Ten conference team to play in this Christmas Day event. And here come the Rainbows. Nine, 2-1, the second successive season they have won 9. Coach Bob Wagner, third season, 23-12-1. And incredibly, Hawaii has been designated as the visiting team, even though they live just a few miles from here. Hello again, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Mele Kaliki Maka, and all of that. I'm Keith Jackson along with Bob Greasy. And our ball game today, Bob, is the matchup of the big guy versus the little guy.
Well, Michigan State is the big physical team from the Big Ten and the Midwest. The speed and quickness and the finesse of Hawaii is what's going to have to carry them through. Their players are smaller. This is their home field. They have not been beaten here in their last 12 appearances. Their offensive style is wide open, and defensively it's wide open. A lot of blitzing, a lot of gambling, and a lot of big plays both ways.
The disparity in size now will show up when Michigan State has the ball and Hawaii is playing defense.
The big offensive line against the smallish defensive line of Hawaii, outweighed them about 40 pounds. Michigan State likes to run the ball. In fact, this year over 500 times they ran the ball, and they passed it about 200. So that'll be the key early on. Can that Hawaii defensive line stand up to that big offensive line?
And now here are the Spartans. Michigan State, 7-4, their 5th bowl game in 6 years. Under Coach George Perlis, it is George's 7th season at his alma mater. He's 45-33-3. They are designated the home team because their acceptance to the Eagle Aloha game preceded that of Hawaii, because when Michigan State had accepted, the Rainbow still had a couple of games to play. So that's why Michigan State is the home team. As for the weather here in Honolulu and in particular at Waikiki today, well, you can see it is not too bad. If you got to suffer, ain't a bad place, like we said. But here's where the Spartans live. So cry no tears for your visiting Warriors today, folks. They've got the better of the bargain. Comes Santa to the Eagle Aloha Bowl. Well done. for an older fella. Now let's check in with our colleague, Mike Adamle.
Well, Keith, a sidebar story to this game between Hawaii and Michigan State are the future plans of Spartan head coach George Perles. As most of you know, there has been a lot of speculation that the New York Jets are very much interested in his services. Well, I talked to George earlier this morning, and it's a very testy, sticky kind of situation if you're a head coach at a major university like Michigan State. But George told me this. Number one, he has not been offered the job, but he would, should Joe Walton be relieved of his duties as is expected later this week, he would listen to any overtures made to him by new Jets general manager Dick Steinberg. He is interested in the job as head coach of the New York Jets. We should also, however, mention that George is also a candidate for the athletic directorship at Michigan State as Doug Weaver retires at the end of this school year. So any move by Perles at this point in time is purely speculation. Keith?
All right, Michael, and that, again, just a short while ago when the team arrived and George got off the bus. So that's the latest news on that. Tom Payton, the national merchandising manager for the Eagle division of the Chrysler Motor Corporation, did the coin toss for our ball game today. And the coin he used was a silver dollar commemorating the bicentennial of Congress. The coin provided by the U.S. Mint, designated as the official bowl coin for the 89 and 90 postseason in college football. Michigan State won the toss and elected to take the football. They want to find out just as early as possible if they can do what they hope to do, and that's run the ball right at Hawaii. Kahn will kick it off for the Rainbows. Hawaii will be in the white, and Michigan State in the dark green. Courtney Hawkins is number 5. 5'9", 180-pound sophomore from Flint, seemingly destined for stardom. As a Spartan, he had the last half of the season in particular, he was really outstanding. He's a wideout. He has great speed. The officials are from the Pac-10. The kickoff is very short and high. Hawkins does not get the ball. It is taken instead by Tico Duckett, and Duckett is decked in a hurry. So the Rainbows showing you some of the speed on the very first motion of the ball game as they hustle down under the high short kick and don't give him a chance to get his engine running. Remember now, Hawaii is giving away approximately 40 pounds per man in the trenches as Michigan State goes to the offense. Dan Enos is the quarterback, and his pass completion percentage reflected there. Pretty good. Didn't throw, however, as many as some of the others. Here's a little pitch. It goes back to Ezor, and Ezor, the 190-pound senior, will pick up just about 1 yard. Now, here's the way Michigan State starts. Enos is your quarterback. Montgomery's in there now at fullback, starting today, coming off stress fracture in his foot. Ezor, the tailback. Hawkins, a wide out, along with James Bradley. And here's the size difference. Up front, it's 280, 285, 265, 280, and 295 for Michigan State. Second down, call it 8. They go to the ground, give it to Ezor, bounces outside, gets up to the 30. Pursuit is good by Hawaii. But there is a pickup of a good 5 yards on the outside move of Ezor. Stant, Apelu, and Johnson are the down people, 235, 280. That's the biggest man on the team, and 230. Williams, Randall, Maeva, Odom are the linebackers, and they're very, very active, not too big. Colson, Tressler, Briggs, McLeod make up the defensive secondary. Briggs is a former quarterback who went to the safety position. Third down, long 3. Enos getting pressure, gets his pass away, incomplete. It's the blitzing, it's the gambling, it's the pressure, it's the wild craziness that Hawaii shows you that causes you to make plays like that.
Well, there's a lot of man-to-man coverage in the secondary and a lot of blitzing and gambling up front. There'll be some big plays made on both sides, and that time Hawaii got away with it.
In to do the punting is Langloh, place kicker. We may see a couple of punters today. Josh Butlin may show up to punt. He's had a stress fracture on top of his kicking foot. That snap was a little high, but Langloh gets it out and gets very good spin on it. It's a very good kick all the way back inside the 20. Picked up by Seidner, and Seidner has the ball knocked out of his grasp. Michigan State has recovered the football at the Hawaii 34, and that is something Hawaii cannot do. Carlos Jenkins covers the ball. It was a 50-yard punt, a 14-yard return, and there's a penalty flag.
Well, it's clipping on Hawaii, which will be turned down by Michigan State, obviously.
Against the return
The
team.
referee is Bill Richardson, Walter Wolf the umpire, Dale Newhouse the head linesman, Chuck McFerrin the line judge, Dick Schnell the field judge, Tom Szymanski the side judge, and Jim Fogeltantz the back judge, all Pac-10.
There's the clip just to the left of your screen as the flag comes out. Now let's see. Right there, it seems as though his own man knocks the ball loose, and Michigan State recovers.
It is the one thing that the Rainbows cannot afford to do, and that's give the ball on their side of the field to Michigan State. All right, Bob Wagner, who went to school at Wittenberg, coached at Muskingum, at Worcester, then came here. He's been here about 13 seasons now, first as an assistant. He was also an assistant to Don James up in Seattle before he came here to Hawaii. He succeeded Dick Tomey, who left Hawaii to go to the University of Arizona. So the Rainbow defensive unit back on the field, and Michigan State will go to work just inside the Hawaii 35-yard line. Ball goes back to Ezor, hit behind the line of scrimmage by number 96, David Stant, the senior from Oahu, and he got a piece of him, slowed him down, and they put him away. Just about the line of scrimmage. 64 there is Delmar Johnson. He's a junior college transfer. If you think he's short, he is. He's a defensive lineman, defensive end, 5'7", 230 pounds. He is outweighed 50 pounds by the man across from him, All-American Bob Kula, and he gives away 9 inches. We'll be taking a look at that matchup throughout the day. Second down and 10. Enos a little roll to the right. Pressure coming. Grab, miss. Deck back outside the 40. Back on the 41. They do not give you time to breathe. First man there was Gavin Robertson, number 5.
Well, George Perlis knew what he was getting into. He knew this would be a fired-up group. He said, coming over here to Hawaii to play this group, it's like they're defending the island. They play very well out here. They lost their only 2 ball games on the mainland. They were undefeated here all year long. They were 9-0-1 here at the Aloha Bowl this season.
It's third down and about 17. Enos back, caught behind the line of scrimmage and put down. Back on the Michigan State 49, and Delmar Johnson won that one. Delmar Johnson went flying around Kula and decked the quarterback for a big loss.
Well, we just highlighted Delmar Johnson. We mentioned he's only 5'7". Number 64 takes an inside rush. That's just a blown assignment by Kula. 63, nobody touched Johnson, and he got in for the sack, his 4th of the year.
You don't think the confidence isn't blooming on the left-hand end of the field? Here's Langlow's punt away, and again, John gets a very good high hanger, takes a Hawaii bounce and goes into the end zone, and the Rainbows will put it in play at their 20. Langlow hit that first punt a while ago, 50. That one is good for 51. Now let's see if Hawaii can finally show us their offense. Sets up on the hill above Pearl Harbor. Now let's see what the Rainbows can do as Garrett Gabriel brings them up. He's a junior from Pearl City, which is the closest community of any size to the stadium. Steps away from pressure, but now he'll go for a loss back around the 18-yard line as Dixon Edwards, a junior out of Cincinnati, comes firing in. And so Michigan State now is going to try to show Hawaii's offense some defensive pressure. Farmer and MacArthur and Ahuna are the backs behind Gabriel, and they run options out of this spread formation with Roscoe and Lau, the wideouts. Goa, Smith, Olivado, Jones, and Robinson are the big people up front. So it's second down. And a good 13 penalty flag. Here's your option, and dragged down. After the pitch, number 51 stepping in to make the play is Carlos Jenkins on Dane MacArthur. Dane MacArthur is a junior out of Prince Albert, Canada, way up north. It's against Michigan State for being offside. And the defense for the Spartans will line up this way. Vanderbeek, Reidinger, Davis, and Willerts, the down people, they play that 4-3 stunt, or the stunt 4-3 if you like, funneling everything into the middle, which is why Percy Snow, that All-American linebacker, number 48, gets so much action with Jenkins and Edwards alongside of him. Haller, Barnett, Acanello, and Donaldson are the secondary people.
Barnett is the outstanding player in that secondary, making all Big Ten. As you mentioned, Percy Snow is the man on this defense. He is the man that is supposed to make the tackle.
So after the offside penalty, we look at 2nd down and 8 for the Rainbows. Hawaii in white. Gabriel coming down the line on the option, pitches the ball back to MacArthur, the Canadian. He gets a terrific block, which gets him over the 50-yard line and out of bounds at the Michigan State 48. And the block was thrown by Lenny Lau, the senior from Honolulu, 85.
They line up in a spread, but it's anything but a spread as the man comes back in motion. It's a true triple option. Fake it to the first man. The quarterback could run. That's the second option. Pitches it to MacArthur. They work 70% of the time in practice on the option. This is not a run and shoot alignment. It's a run and shoot, looks like a run and shoot, but it's an option team first, passing team second.
And it's 1st down Hawaii at the Michigan State 48. Again the option. Again the pitch outside. Goes this time to Seidner. And Seidner is a redshirt freshman. And you know where he's from? Columbus, Ohio.
Well, the Hawaiian players are from all over, mainly from the islands, but you don't get any skill players, or not many skill players from the Hawaiian Islands or the Samoan Islands. Mainly you have to get them from the mainland. So what they do is they try to get their skill players from the mainland and also get their big players or tough players from right here in Hawaii.
It is another 1st down for the Rainbows at the Michigan State 34-yard line. Garrett Gabriel, native son at quarterback. Skill position people, the one thing you don't find around here. They run it inside with Jamal Farmer, a freshman from Lakeview Terrace, California. And he takes it inside the 30 to the 29. And talking with Coach Bob Wagner, I discussed with him the use of the triple option out of the spread formation.
Heart and soul, what we do is a triple option. And then everything else comes off of that. So, yeah, we're much different than, let's say, a Houston or a Detroit Lion.
In other words, much different than a run and shoot. Farmer, the up man. Here's a penalty flag. This happens a lot. Looking at the videotape and the film and so forth, that pitch intended for Seidner, there was a Michigan defender that had penetrated, forcing Gabriel to throw the ball high and over the head of the pitch man.
The outside linebacker, Carlos Jenkins, was coming in very quickly and forcing Gabriel to make the pitch sooner than he wanted to.
It's against the Rainbows. 2 people moving. Seidner is a very quick back. Give him a crack and he's gone. He's going to be a good one, it looks like. They're not big in the backfield. Ahuna 170 and Seidner 170 the slots. Farmer, on the other hand, has got
illegal procedure on the offense. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage has declined.
Jamal stands in at 5'10", 225 pounds. And the ball now with the penalty comes back to the 35, where it'll be 3rd down, 11.
Perlis bought the stunt 4-3 defense with him when coaching with the Pittsburgh Steelers with the championship years. Brought it to college with him, and it has worked well, but he said he designed it in the 70s to stop the I formation, the pro set with O.J. Simpson. It's going to be interesting to see here if it can stop a spread type of offense, which primarily runs the option.
We're in the first quarter of play. No score. Hawaii trying to manifest a threat. 9 minutes to go in the first period of the 8th Eagle Aloha bowl game from Aloha Stadium. Gabriel rolls it out, looks past, goes downfield with it, has a man at the sideline. Pass caught good. Down at the 22-yard line in the first down for the Rainbows, and it's Chris Roscoe, who was the leading receiver for Hawaii. He caught 47 balls with an average of better than 22 yards per catch. Big play man.
One thing that the spread gets you by putting all these people out here eligible as receivers, you get constant coverage. The top receiver just going to go to the outside and break out. You don't get very many varieties of coverages because they're there to stop the option. And if you get too fancy in the secondary, then you can't stop the option. So if your option can work, the passing game should be good for Gabriel.
From the 22, first down Bulls. They hand it inside to Farmer. And there isn't going to be a whole lot of daylight, I don't believe, all day long for Farmer. Maybe later on, if they can spread him a little bit, they might find some room. But I don't think the Jamal Farmer is going to have a big day.
But you have to continue hitting that fullback or the remaining back up in there to make that option work.
The ball is at the 21-yard line. It'll be second down, a little more than 9. Lau comes to the bottom of your picture. That's 85. Roscoe will be up at the top. He's 89. Gabriel's in trouble. Ball is rolling around on the ground, and Michigan State should have it, and they do. Back at the 35-yard line. So again, quick defensive penetration by Dixon Edwards, and Hawaii gives it away.
Edwards is an outside linebacker. He's going to be coming from the left side of your screen. He's coming down, blitzing very quickly. Gabriel is not expecting him to be there that quick. In practice, it wasn't there, so he's not ready. The tailback coming back around was not ready for the ball. Causes a big turnover. Michigan State, nice play by Edwards.
Vanderbeek covered the ball for Michigan State. And now we have our second turnover by Hawaii. And the Spartans start at their own 35-yard line. Enos turns and gives to Ezor. And Ezor will pick up right at 4 yards. Blake Ezor in rushing carried the ball 226 times this past season, and his average per carry is right on 5 yards.
He finished up strong. In fact, the last 2 ball games, gained over 415 yards, 9 touchdowns. Finished with a flurry.
Second down and 6 for the Spartans. No score, first quarter. Ezor again, nothing fancy. Just grind on them and beat on them, and that's what they want to do. Use the size, use the weight advantage. And in this particular case, I think use the height advantage along the offensive front. Just lean on them. And the longer you lean on them, sooner or later, they're going to wear out.
Third and fourth quarter, that'll take its toll.
It'll be third down, a long one. Bounces, picks up the first down. Left nothing. Look back, there it was. First down, Michigan State at their own 48.
That was just outstanding running to get back to the line of scrimmage and in fact make a first down by Ezor because the hole was stopped. The pursuit was there where he was bouncing out, and Ezor just found a crack up inside and got the first down.
Blake is picked up 20 yards, 6 carries here in the first quarter. Timeout called right now by one of the officials, number 77. That'll be Eric Moten, who's a 285-pound junior, and he has had to hobble off the field, going to the sidelines. The officials, referee, Bill Richardson, spotting the fact that he was off balance, called the time to get him out of the ball game. Replacing him is number 50. That's Roosevelt Wagner, a redshirt freshman from Ravenna, Ohio. He's still growing at a mere 2'7". Highland Hickson in the backfield. Enos rolls it out, gets it away. Pass is caught by Hickson out of the backfield, and it's good for a Michigan State first down. And the Spartans are on the Hawaii side of the field, right about the Rainbow 40.
Whoa!
One of the things that Morris Watts, the offensive coordinator, said before the ball game is he wanted to get some play action into the game early because obviously Hawaii thought they were going to come out and run, and they have run, but they thought the play action fakes would hold the linebackers and get some people open downfield.
Courtney Hawkins is the wide man. They just turn around and pitch it right back to Ezor, and he just tucks it under and turns on the burners, and he's very close to a first down before Walter Briggs, the free safety, can bring him down for Hawaii. Now let's check in with Mike and talk about heat.
Well, Keith, even though it's beautiful here in Hawaii, it is very warm in the high 80s and maybe higher down on this astroturf surface. It's not a factor right now, but it will become fourth quarter. Both sidelines have been equipped with these air conditioning units which blow out cold air, but that may not be enough. The Spartans tried to acclimate themselves by turning up the temperature in their indoor facility to about 85 degrees, but it's still going to be hot come fourth quarter.
It is first down for Michigan State. And now they're starting to open some holes in the offensive, defensive front of Hawaii as Ezor runs well again with Manley Williams, an outside backer, making the tackle for Hawaii. How many times does Mike Adamle get to go to work in an open collar shirt and shorts?
Certainly didn't work that way the last couple of games of the season up in Illinois and Michigan.
The ball is at the 23-yard line, Hawaii side. Second down and 4, Michigan State, and Moten is back in the offensive front for the Spartans. This is Ezor. The hole is there, and he's knocked out of bounds by Walter Briggs and David Maiva. And they're looking across the field at the marker, and he may have his first down. If the ball is marked inside the 18, it will be.
Take a look at Bob Kula, number 63, blocking on the little man Johnson. Gets the best of it that time. That's the reason the hole was there for Ezor.
Yeah, you see that tremendous difference in height. He just kind of laid down on it, didn't he?
Yeah, there's going to be some times that the defensive line for Hawaii has to stunt and game. They have to get into the creases. They can't take these Michigan State offensive linemen on head up. They have to go for the creases and expect the linebackers to scrape off and make the plays.
Tico Duckett, the tailback now. Duckett's got the ball bouncing outside. He's got some quickness. And he's inside the 10. Tico, 185-pounder in there in relief of Blake Ezor on this warm morning in Honolulu or in Hawaii. And he picks up about 9 yards on that carry.
Duckett gained 575 yards on the season. He's a sprinter, a track sprinter. His first game of the year, he's a redshirt freshman, as you mentioned. He gained 175 yards against Iowa earlier in the season when Ezor was injured.
Second down, about 1.5 yards. Ezor is back, has the ball. Has a first down. First and goal, Michigan State, Hawaii 3-yard line. Well, get used to looking at it because you're going to see that kind of play a lot today, I think.
Just a toss, stretch everybody wide, straight blocking up front. Let your speedy back find a hole and get up. This is the kind of football that George Perlis wants to play. Tough, physical, smash mouth. Just get up there and put our head on your head and see who wins. It's not the way that Hawaii wants to play. They want to stack everything up, force them to run to the sideline so their speed and quickness can stop them.
This is the 10th play in this possession for Michigan State, trying to cash in. A turnover by Hawaii. Give it back to Ezor again. Bounces for the corner. Foot race. Touchdown, Michigan State. Flag thrown in the end zone. I think that's going to come after the play was over. As the conference of officials. Touchdown.
Penalty is unsportsmanlike conduct for taunting.
Yep.
The touchdown.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, and the penalty flag was thrown at Ezor because what you can see it right here. See? Well, that's the one. That's the kind of a thing that caused the big fist fight last year at the end of the Washington State-Houston game. And they're not going to put up with it this year. Stop it right out of the blocks.
Well, the other night at the banquet, there was some good-natured taunting going back and forth. As
I'm not so sure all of it was good.
well, they started off very simply by both teams are green and white, and one side was hollering, "Go green, go white," and the other side said, "We can do that louder." And then George Perlis came down from the dais and actually talked to his troops, but there was nothing ever close at the banquet. But that certainly was taunting there.
John Langloh blocked by the Rainbows. Blocked by number 56, Odom. Mark Odom, who led the WAC in quarterback sacks, came flying in and blocked the extra point try.
Right up the middle. Odom squirts through.
Well, Langlo never got it up either. Ball was low, and Odom blocked it. And it's 6-0 Spartans. First quarter. He's made it through the time he's been here. He's been here a week without getting sunburned. But if he doesn't put a hat on over there in that bright sun, he's going to go back to the hotel like a beat today. Warm hat.
Well, you always like to go back to Michigan from when you come to Hawaii. You got to have a little sunburn by the time you get back.
Seidner is the deep man for Hawaii now, and Langlo, who's going to be doing all the kicking, I guess. There was some talk that Josh Buckland might come out with the warm weather and try a punt or so. He was kicking in the warm weather some, not a lot. So Seidner, the speedster's back, waiting for Langlo's kick. Michigan State leads at 6-0, 3:59, and Hawaii should come out of this with pretty good field position because the ball is put back at the 20 as a result of the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Michigan State. Seidner takes it at the 17. Hit first at the 35, goes on through to the 39. That's where they will have the ball. Well, tonight, the finale of ABC's Monday Night Football. It's at the Dome in Minneapolis. The Minnesota Vikings at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. The winner goes to the playoffs, and the loser goes home. Live coverage begins at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific tonight here on ABC Sports.
You know, the interesting thing about that matchup, if Cincinnati wins, they host the wild card game against the Oilers of Houston, who were humiliated in Houston just a couple of weeks ago.
Just barely escaped yesterday. Gabriel pumps it, nobody to throw it to, and somehow gets out of traffic, now gets it away, and the pass is caught for a first down at the Michigan State 48-yard line by Chris Roscoe.
Roscoe is arguably the best wide receiver ever to play at the University of Hawaii. Bob Wagner says he thinks he's the top guy ever to catch a pass out here for the Rainbows.
Good size, 6'1", 205. He is a senior, and he's from Long Beach, California. There's something like 24, 25 Californians on the bowl roster for Hawaii. There's one Aussie and 4 Canadians. A fellow named Walter Murray wasn't too bad either. Dave Brinson reminds me. Gabriel's pass, sharp, hard throw, right for the numbers. Pass is good. And caught by Dan Ahuna. And he's another one who's undersized but tough. And here's a guy who wasn't all that big, was plenty of tough at Northwestern, Mike Adamle.
Well, Keith, you know, University of Hawaii coach Bob Wagner isn't an exceptionally superstitious guy, but if it helps, he'll wear it. He's the only coach in America I know of that wears a lei while he coaches during on the sidelines. A friend of the family gave him these tea leaves a couple of years ago. They beat the University of Iowa 27-24. He's been wearing them ever since. Maybe that block extra point is a sign of things to come.
His coaches at Wittenberg, Bill Edwards, and Dave Maurer wouldn't believe that flowers around his neck during the ball game. Play is inside for Jamal Farmer and down to about the 42-yard line. So we're now going to be looking at third down and close to 4 yards for Hawaii.
It was a record-breaking year for the Rainbows. And of those 71 school records, Gabriel, the quarterback, set 15 himself.
Well, that 18 touchdowns by Jamal Farmer, rushing touchdowns, is an NCAA freshman record. Third and a long 4, actually. Gabriel looks, throws, it's intercepted. Great play by Carlos Jenkins. Read it, stepped in front of the receiver and picked it off. Hawaii's third turnover.
Very well defensed by Michigan State. Here's Carlos Jenkins right here. He's just going to slide back. This defensive man's going to slide it. The receiver is here, and when he tries to get the ball to him, Jenkins cuts right in front of him and makes the interception. Zone all the way, slide to the outside man, and then react to the ball when the receiver looks back. That's just outstanding defensive play by the Spartans.
Jenkins was first down at the Hawaii 48. That's where Michigan State will snap it. Enos, your quarterback, turns around, whips the pass quickly to the outside man, Bradley, and James Bradley is all the way down to the Hawaii 25 before Walter Briggs can get him to the sidelines. James Bradley, a junior from Orrville, Ohio.
Junior college transfer, came in this year with the Spartans. 18 receptions on the year, has outstanding speed.
Yeah, when you average right at 20 yards per catch, or better than 19 per catch in the Big Ten, you're pretty quick, aren't you? This is Ezor. 8 yards before he is shoved out of bounds. Talking to George Perlis, I asked George, with all of the pleasantries that go with a trip like this, if he felt his football team was focused for the game. He said this.
They know they're here on a business trip. They know that they worked hard in the morning and they had a chance to play in the afternoon. So I'm not concerned about that. If we don't win the game, it's not going to be because of the heat. It's not going to be because of distractions. It's not going to be because of Hawaii or anything else. It's going to be because they're a better football team.
Second down, 2.5. Ezor reaching into the middle for his first down. Looks like he's got it. Ball may have come out. They're talking. Michigan State keeps it. We go back to what is now a cliche in football rules. Brown can't cause a fumble. But it will be eternally debated. Anyhow.
Bob Wagner certainly thought it was a fumble. Ezor came out of that one. I think he got a break. Take a look at it as he breaks back inside. The ball is loose. The ball is loose before his knee is down.
Break for the Spartans. Ezor hurdles a man. I shouldn't use that. That is forbidden. He jumps over a man.
Ezor, Perlis loves this young man, the fifth-year senior. Perlis calls him pound for pound, the toughest kid he's ever coached. He's a bit of a free spirit. He's owned a reptile collection, which included 5 iguanas. He also has had a 4.5-foot boa constrictor. He says, I didn't mess with him too much. I didn't handle him too much. He was kind of mean.
He does not, however, travel.
Thank goodness. I wouldn't want to be his roommate either.
Second down, 3, won't make it. Rainbows get a little tougher down with their backs against the wall. Number 3, Michael Colson, the cornerback, senior from Long Beach, and Manley Williams, a sophomore from Honolulu, make the stop. Third and 4. 3.5, if you like. Enos to the corner, first down. He did not reach the corner of the end zone, which was his target. But he does get to the 3-yard line, and that will make it first down and goal to go, Michigan State, as we come to the end of the first quarter of play. And after 1 in the Eagle Aloha Bowl, it is Michigan State 6, Hawaii nothing. All right, we'll move to the second quarter of play, and Blake Ezor is on a record pace already in this ball game. Michigan State down here with a first down and goal from the Hawaii 3, trying to convert another turnover into another score. Enos pitches to Ezor. Touchdown. That's his second of the day. He had 16 during the regular season. The big block came from fullback Steve Montgomery. So Ezor, 16 carries, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns. Aloha Bowl records would be 33 carries for the number of carries and 139 yards.
And again, it's a nice setup block. See the way he started to the outside to set the block up by Montgomery. The defensive back had to take to the outside, made the block easier, and also opened some space up for him on the inside for him to cut up. But that drive was set up by the turnover and that big offensive line just pounding down.
Langloh this time gets the chip shot up in the air quickly, and the point after is good. At 14:53 to go in the first half of play, and 13-0, the Michigan State Spartans of the Big Ten have taken the lead, having solved some of the mystery of the Hawaii defense at this point. There's the young man who had just scored his second touchdown in the ball game. A little more than a quarter gone, and in the background you can hear the Hawaii band. They got the war drums out now. Enough of this.
Izor had 4 brothers, all bigger than him, and they all played college football.
Langloh, number 10 there, will be kicking to Jeff Seidner. You saw Jeff a moment ago. Good high hanger. Seidner runs it down back at the 5. Block at the 20, block at the 25, and down at the 29. The numbers after the first period.
Michigan State has dominated. Look at total offense, 102-60. But the key number is the turnovers, the 3 for Hawaii. If Hawaii is going to be in this ball game, they cannot afford to help the Spartans along. Michigan State strong enough by themselves without getting any charity from the Rainbows.
One of the things you might want to kind of watch here now is how the Michigan State defense has changed a bit. The offensive philosophy of Hawaii is the exact opposite of the defensive philosophy of Michigan State. But Michigan State had to change their philosophy a bit and force Hawaii to come back inside. That handoff goes to Farmer, and Farmer runs into Mr. Van de Beek and will pick up a couple of yards. But what the outside people for the Spartans have done in the last couple of defensive series have simply just run to this boundary and force them to come back inside.
No question about it. And Michigan State defensively is very, very good. Playing in a conference that likes to run the football, they held up pretty well in the Big Ten.
That guy named Snow in the middle there, they funnel everything toward him, and he ain't bad. There's that little pitch outside, hitting the backfield, and Seidner just simply didn't have any place to go as Donaldson, the cornerback, came flying in to get a piece of him, and by the time he got his shoulders turned upfield, he'd run out of real estate.
Because of the size of the players that Hawaii gets, they have to do things a little bit differently. Like, for instance, on offense, they don't like to pound you and run right at you. That's what Michigan State would like for them to do. But because they're smaller, they have a scheme. They have a good scheme where they use the spread, use some option. They'd run around you and finesse you and trick you and not block you, then try to man on man.
Now they've spread them out. Gabriel's pass is away. The pass is caught, and it's good for a first down at the 43-yard line. Seidner out of that slot back position. Freshman from Columbus, Ohio, and Big Percy Snow hunted him down. Percy winning the Butkus Award for the top linebacker in the country, and also the Lombardi Award. So he got 2 big prizes in his senior year.
2-time consensus All-American. Has led the Big Ten in tackles for 2 years. You know, it's going to be a little bit different when he goes to the pros, though, Keith. They're not going to funnel everything into him. He's probably going to be on a team that plays a 3-4 because most of the pro teams do, and those linemen will be able to get out and block him. It's going to be a little bit different for him.
To the sideline, deep throw, good catch. That's a very good catch. It didn't result in a whole lot of real estate acquisition, but Jamal Farmer makes a fine catch for about 5 yards. Bob Wagner, as I told you, played his college ball at Wittenberg in Ohio, native son of that state. I talked to him about high school football here in Hawaii and the kind of people who are playing it over here, and this is what he said.
What you don't have in Hawaii is you don't have a lot of skill. You don't have a lot of speed. You have some good linemen. Linebackers, you don't have a lot of height. That's one of the reasons why we're doing what we do on defense and on offense, is to take advantage of really our natural resources, what we have here to base our recruiting efforts on.
Bill Johnson, sophomore outside backer from Chicago, made that defensive play on Farmer for Michigan State. Johnson, number 96 there.
Bob Wagner set 3 goals, Keith, before the season started. First, he wanted to beat BYU, which they did. That was their arch rival. First time they've done that in a long time.
56 points.
Second, they wanted to earn a bowl bid, which is their first ever NCAA bowl. The third they didn't accomplish, and that was winning the WAC conference, the WAC championship.
3rd down and 2. Farmer tries foot, and Jamal has it. Getting close to the Michigan State 45. That was a good, tough effort by Jamal Farmer. He's 225 pounds paying off there. As Carlos Jenkins, who has an interception, weighs only 215, and Farmer was able to outmuscle it.
Farmer won some awards at the end of the year. You mentioned he set a freshman scoring record. He also was named the WAC Newcomer of the Year, or the Freshman of the Year. Really came on and did an outstanding job.
12:20 to go in the first half. Michigan State leading 13-0. First down, Hawaii. Just short of the Michigan State 45. The Rainbows have had 3 turnovers, and the Spartans have converted 2 of those into scoring drives. Gabriel's quick little hitch, short hop to Farmer, incomplete.
Here's a look at how Hawaii has done in the WAC. They lead in every category on the left, scoring, interceptions by Briggs. Seidner leads in punt returns, and Elam in field goals, and how they rank nationally. So you can, just gives you an idea of where they rank in their conference. They have really have several people that have dominated that conference.
2nd down and 10. Gabriel time, the ball ricochets after being slapped aside by one of the Michigan State defenders. Somebody got their long arm up there. It might have been Johnson. He had all the time in the world.
And a lot of time.
And he had a man, too.
Yeah. Michigan State defensively, they use 7, sometimes 8 defensive linemen. They play 4, and they'll substitute. They have a lot of depth. Perlis is going to lose that whole starting defensive line are all 5th-year seniors, and 2 of the backups are 5th-year seniors. So they lose 6 defensive linemen this year.
It is now 3rd and 10 for Hawaii. Garrett Gabriel running a little heat, gets it away, going for the bundle, intercepted. Picked off by Mike Iconello. He tumbles out of bounds. That's 4 Hawaii turnovers.
Well, it's a 2-deep zone. Here's one safety right here, and the other one is going to be right here. The 5 short men are here. What he's trying to do is hit the man down the sideline. Iquinello is right here. He's going to come over and make the play on the sideline. You got to throw this ball a little bit quicker. Like right now, he has some opening. He threw the ball too far downfield, allowing Iquinello to get over and make the play. That's the 4th turnover in the little over a quarter for the Rainbows.
Unless you are young and supple, don't go in this water. That's mock poop. Best body surfing in the world, maybe, but you need to be limber. Hawaii has an unusual stat right now. They've had 3 possessions, but 4 turnovers. One of those turnovers was a fumbled punt return, remember, by Seidner. So the Rainbows are helping the Spartans, and that is not exactly the game plan if your hopes are to have a close contest. Enos rolls it out. He pulls it down. He's got a convoy, and he's got a first down all the way to the 29-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 15 yards for the Michigan State quarterback.
And that man right there, Keith, had a great year for the Spartans. He came in, he hadn't played much. He's a junior, came in and really not only threw the ball well, he was 3rd in the Big Ten in passing efficiency, but also ran the ball very well, gaining over 380 yards rushing. So that man came in right there and really took charge of the offense for George Perlis and the offensive coordinator, Morris Watts.
From the 29, first down, Spartans. Enos pumps it, lets it go. Pass is caught. That's Bradley, 2nd big catch for James, and it's first down Michigan State. And they're going to bring him back upfield at least to the 48-yard line, where one of the officials has marked the spot where he felt he went out of bounds, and there's also a penalty flag back up there. The play was good for 42 yards, but it may not hold up.
The illegal touching by the receiving team. Lost it down at the previous spot.
It was the pump, I think, that got everybody moving, and somebody got downfield.
Well, it was a well-designed play because it was something that they had known from watching the films. Take a look here as Enos is going to come back and fake. Now, this is planned to hold the corner, and they got it just what they wanted. Held the safety, who's coming from the right side of your screen. Now, Bradley makes a nice move to get inside of him.
Yeah, but that showed you there what the penalty was. He went out and came back.
Out of bounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, got shoved out of bounds. Well, that was a nice play by the corner then. That was McLeod. If you're going to get beat, shove him out of bounds if you can.
So the ball comes back on that penalty to the 29, which was the point of the snap. 42-yard play is wiped out. It is second down and 10. There's a little shovel ahead, the old Utah. And it's good up across the 35 to the 36 with Blake Ezor. Cactus Jack's favorite play. Negros Cup.
Ezor's father was a good friend of George Perlis. And when Blake was a high school senior, his father called George, says, I got a son here. It's a pretty good football player. I'd like for you to sign him. I want him to play for you. And George Perlis says, oh, sure, just another father. Come to find out, Notre Dame, Miami, Penn State all wanted this kid. And finally, his father delivered him.
Enos getting the pressure, gets his pass away, and it is caught. That's bad defensive play by Hawaii. The man was downfield and came back to get the ball. Kim McLeod let Bradley get away from him, and Bradley made the catch, and this one will stand up. Incidentally, that was not a penalty. That was an illegal entry on the play. He went out and came back in. It can also be interpreted as illegal touching. So it was not a penalty as such on Michigan State a while ago, just simply an incomplete pass. We'll have an ABC News report. Morton Dean updating some of the things that are going on in our turbulent world. Romania, Panama. And we'll also see the closing of the halftime show here at the Aloha Bowl. This is Tico Duckett, and the redshirt freshman from Kalamazoo will pick up about 3 before Delmar Johnson brings him down.
This is one thing that Perlis has on his offense, and that is a stable of outstanding running backs. Duckett is a redshirt freshman. He has an outstanding runner in each class, a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. Ezor is the senior. Duckett is an outstanding redshirt freshman. Hickson, who we've already seen, is a junior who played very well this year. And he has another kid named Seltzer who is struggling to get playing time with those other 3.
The equipment timeout here called by Bill Richardson, the referee, as Johnson has to come out and get some work done on his helmet. And Haku Kawano goes into the ball game. Kawano is a sophomore from Honolulu. He's a little taller and about the same size as Johnson. Reverse. Hawkins. 1-yard line. Eric Moten, number 77, is going to be out in front of this play the whole way and almost led Hawkins into the end zone.
It's just great execution. As they start everything, the whole flow is going to the right, and with Hawaii and their quickness, they flow so quickly. The ball comes back to the left side, and Hawkins picking up his blocking. There's Moten, 77, down inside the 5-yard line. Outstanding player, Hawkins, the only sophomore to be on the All-Big Ten team this year.
See the dominance of Michigan State, but can't expect anything else with 4 turnovers. The ball is about the 2-yard line, and there's the leap. Hit at the top of the stack is Ezor, and may even have lost a bit there. Eric Moten was on the bottom that time. Eric is 6'3", 285 from Cleveland. So he occupies a goodly bit of space out there, as Dick would say. If Vitale got around here and looked at some of the size of these people, I mean, he could really call them wide bodies, couldn't he?
Power forwards, right?
Oh, Izor, they eat him up. Outside of the 2-yard line. Good defensive flow that time by Randall and Manley, a couple of linebackers for the Rainbows. So it is 3rd down and goal, and now they're back out around the 3. And you got a timeout. It's being taken for one of the Hawaii players. Seems to have hurt an ankle. It's Randall who was involved in the tackle at 7:48 to go in the first half. Plus, Randall had to leave the ball game with an apparent ankle injury. He walked off, so I would expect we'll see him back. Duckett, 35. Izor, 26. And Montgomery, 43. Set up in a wishbone for Michigan State. Look at this. Enos fakes it, keeps it, throws it. Man falls down, Montgomery. And Hawaii will force Michigan State into 4th and goal.
George Perlis not making any long decisions here. Not even thinking about it, just sends the field goal team on. Because if you can't score from 3 times in there, I'm not going to waste another down. I want the points on the board.
He is, however, engaged in some very serious conversation with his offensive unit. 20-yard field goal try for Langloh. On a 70+% kicker during his career, and he just drills it on downtown. Penalty flag. Hold it. Hawaii players indicating it's against the Spartans. It's holding, and it is. So take the 3 off.
Holding on the offense. Repeat the try.
Well, if George Perlis was upset with his offensive crew coming off before that, he's really going to be ticked off about a holding on a field goal, a chip shot. He had 3 points on the board. You take him off now and move it back 15 or 10 yards. And Langloh will try again.
Well, Langloh will... he's pretty good from this distance. 30 yards. 70% kicker anyway. But from 30, anything can happen. But he got it. And at 7 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the first half, Michigan State settles for 3 and builds their lead to 16-0. Now the Rainbows need a break. University of Hawaii band tootling it up here on a Christmas day in paradise.
The Rainbows averaged over 38 points scoring this year. In fact, I think scored over 50 points 4 times throughout the year. Going to need to call on some of that offensive weaponry right here.
Need to quit turning it over. Hang on to the ball.
That's right.
Well, like you said, Gabriel hadn't seen big people between him and his pitch man too many times probably, and handled it well. This is 2 yards deep in the end zone for Seidner. And good run. Oh, look here. He's got great speed. He's got 1 man, and down he goes. Todd Murray saved the TD. Number 20 doesn't get him. It looks like a goodbye. Timeout. 7:03 to go, first half. Aloha. Hawaii, 4 turnovers, 3 of them reflected there in possessions. The other one happened as a result of a fumble on a punt return. Michigan State is leading 16-0. And the Rainbows have the ball first down at their own 34 with 7:03 to play in the first half. Garrett Gabriel has not had a good day yet. Neither has Jamal Farmer. Here's that pitch back, dropped by number 1. Michigan State's on it. That'll be 5 if the Spartans have it, and they do. Jeff Newman drops the ball. Vanderbeek pounces on it for Michigan State, and that's 5 Hawaii turnovers. Holy cow. It looked like Newman wanted to throw the ball.
He did want to throw it. He is a backup. He does not normally play. He was looking downfield. The receiver was going straight down the field. He looked up before he caught the ball. 5 possessions, 5 turnovers.
And Michigan State is perched at the Hawaii 24 with a first down. A touchdown here, and the mountain is pretty high. Rob Roy in the backfield with Blake Ezor carries the ball. Roy, a 235-pounder from Chicago, in there at the blocking job in front of Ezor. Blake's going to add another 7 yards to his total.
Sure, Perlis doesn't feel like he needs all this help to win this ball game, but he's not going to turn it away.
Second down, 3. Ezor again, and this time caught behind the line of scrimmage. That's Odom, Mark Odom, the junior from Long Beach, who was one of the outstanding defensive players this season in the Western Athletic Conference.
Take a look at the offensive line, in particular number 77, Eric Moulton, right there, clears a nice hole right there for Ezor to cut back, but Odom on the outside, who in I guess one poll, Keith, the sports writers, was named the WAC Defensive Player of the Year, but the coaches voted for someone else, but he was highly thought of.
Enos, slant, thrown hard, intercepted by Hawaii. Tim McLeod, the junior from Inglewood, California, steps in front of James Bradley.
Well, I guess on Christmas Day, it's nice to be charitable, and it's better to give than to receive. The Rainbows have given 5, and Michigan State has given 1.
Well, Bob's got to be terribly frustrated with his team playing giveaway here on this Christmas Day, but now's an opportunity. They have stopped Michigan State, forced them to settle for a field goal on 1st and goal. Now have intercepted them inside the 10. Hawaii's ball first down at their own 9. Gabriel gives to Farmer. There's nothing there. Oh, he didn't either. Fun ball again. My goodness, they've turned the ball loose every time they have touched it here in the last 5 times that they've had their hands on it. He fooled me. I thought he gave it to Farmer. They ganged up on Jamal, and instead he tucked it into Ahuna's tummy, and Dan almost got away.
Well, you can't fault Ahuna, a walk-on who is a senior. He broke 4 or 5 tackles before the ball finally got knocked out, but you got to hold on to the football. Great effort, but hold on to the ball.
There's that pitch. The ball is loose. Michigan State is after it, and they've got it. The pitch was either too late or too early, depending on your perception of the intent. And it comes loose again. Dane MacArthur.
Gabriel should have never pitched this ball. There's too many people outside. He should have tucked it up inside. There wasn't anything inside, but there isn't anything outside either. 6 possessions, 6 turnovers. It's the danger you endure when you run an option offense, and that's what this is, an option offense.
Well, the Michigan State people are getting penetration and just simply ruining the play. They've got to run it deeper, change the angle of it, or quit running it.
Well, they've tried everything. They've tried throwing an option pass on first down. That didn't work. They've tried throwing first. Gabriel is not a pass-first quarterback. He needs the option to be a good quarterback.
Ezor high steps over the left side, gets a block on the corner, penalty flag down, picked up about 7 yards on the carry, but there is a flag.
It's nice to have a play where we didn't have a turnover. We have 3 straight plays holding on Michigan State.
Yeah. Well, I think 4 times in a row, 4 times they've touched the ball, it's been rolling around. That will wind up the regular season. The winner of that game goes to the playoffs, and the loser can pack the suitcase.
If the Vikings win, can you believe the Steelers? Remember way back at the beginning of the season?
Oh, yeah.
I think they were outscored 92-10 or something. You know, what a great job Chuck Noll did of just keeping that group together and bringing them back. They've got a chance to be in the playoffs. They'll be rooting for the Vikings. No question about that. Bubby Brister had a good year, too.
Ball comes back to the 28-yard line after the holding call on first down and 20, and that is very good defensive pursuit by Gavin Robertson, a junior from Seattle, Washington, and he runs down the Michigan State quarterback. Right about the line of scrimmage. Delmar Johnson, incidentally, who came out a little while ago with a helmet problem, is back along the defensive front. And you've got a timeout charge to Michigan State at 3:56 to play in the first half.
You have heartburn with headache, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, that's great. I have the perfect remedy. It's fast and nothing's more effective.
Alka-Seltzer.
New advanced formula Alka-Seltzer.
Nah, I can't take Alka-Seltzer.
This one's easy to take. It has 75% less sodium, a fresh lemony taste, and you can take it with just a little water. How was it?
Great, but it's not Alka-Seltzer.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
It is.
No,
Yes.
it isn't.
Don't
No,
you feel better?
Yes, but it's not Alka-Seltzer.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it
New
is.
advanced formula. Believe it or not, it's Alka-Seltzer.
No, it isn't.
A6, hurry and you'll make it.
Delta Airlines ticket agent Sam Singletary knows how to get people moving.
Mr. Franklin, your bag.
But sometimes he has to show off a few moves of his own. The kind of moves that made him a first-string halfback. Sam Singletary shares a feeling with everyone at Delta. He loves what he's doing, and it shows.
We love to fly.
Piece of cake.
And it shows.
Quite possibly the most expensive real estate in the world, at least certainly in the top 10. Waikiki. Lewis Randall is not back on the field. He came off with a sprained ankle, an inside linebacker for Hawaii, and he has stayed off. He has not returned. So that weakens their experience just a bit. Joaquin Barnett, the man who replaced him. And now it's Michigan State, second down and 19. Enos throws. Pass is good to Bradley. Bradley wiggles around and works his way on down to about the 16-yard line. And that will bring up third down and 7. Time showing in the first half now, 3:49, and Michigan State leading 16-0. They were down here, first and goal at the 2, settled for 3 points. Down here knocking on the door again after Hawaii turnover and had the ball intercepted. Now here they are again trying to cash in the 6th rainbow turnover. Ezor, the tailback. Enos. Good little move. He slipped inside of number, I can't see his number. He stepped inside of one of the Rainbow defenders, 37, Mike Tressler, and was able to pick up the first down. We feared Tressler could get him back around the 13-14, but he missed him.
Tressler is another one of those overachievers on that Rainbow defense. Only 5'7" and 180. He was a walk-on. Credits Rich Miano, former defensive back here at Hawaii and now with the Jets. With helping him, he and Ahuna, both walk-ons.
Izor too close to the 5. Ball pops out, but I think the play is dead back down around the 6. And it is. So that'll be a gain of approximately 3 for Izor. Clock shows 3 minutes now. Hawaii defense has been on the field most of this first half. I mean, time of possession must be staggering by now.
Well, that defense is not big, as we've been telling you all the whole ball game. 9 of the starters are 6 feet or less, and 10 of them weigh less than 235 pounds. That's the group that started. They are not a big crew. They gamble a lot, take a lot of chances defensively.
Second down and goal. The ball is at the 6-yard line. Izor tried to cut back in, and his knee hit the ground just inside the 8. He had the good block on the corner, and as he started to make his cut, the nose guard of Pelu had been ridden out by 2 Spartans, giving the hole to Izor, but Blake couldn't cut it and take it back inside.
Imagine his tongue may be hanging out just a little bit. 23 carries in a quarter and a half.
Duckett's in. Enos gets a block from Duckett, but he is put on the ground. Back outside the 15-yard line by blitzing Tressler and Robertson. Ball is back at the 17.
Yeah, we talked about their blitzing. Here's Tressler here. The strong safety is going to contain it. And the linebacker inside is going to come up and really make the sack. Tressler contains him from rolling out. Who's that, Robertson, number 5?
Robertson.
Makes the sack.
35-yard field goal try now for John Langloh. John has hit one from 30. But he had an extra point blocked. Hawaii's offside. Either that or somebody moved on the front, but I think it's Hawaii offside. We had a little swirling of wind just as that ball was snapped, too. Hawaii is seemingly indicating that Michigan State may have moved to draw the man.
No penalty on the play. Repeat the down.
They pick up the flag.
You know what happens there a lot of times, if the defensive line jumps into the neutral zone and then gets back and causes the offensive line to move, a lot of times you'll just say, well, it's no deal. They do that in college so the defensive line won't jump and try and taunt and get the offensive line to move. Pros, if the offensive man moved, he would be called for the foul.
Now it's a 34-yard try as a result of a little different mark, because you go to the nearest hash mark, and that makes it a 34-yard field goal. That is good, and it's 19-0 Michigan State.
What do these people have in common? The creator of a life-saving cancer cure, the designer of the world's most powerful cyclotron, the researcher whose team identified the largest known galaxy, a leading authority on African migration outside Africa, the first winner of the Van Cliburn Award, and the man who gives speech to the speechless. These people teach at Michigan State University. Our students have access to some of the nation's best faculty. .102 to play in the first half of play.
sun now getting up over the stadium at high noon, and warm. Lay on a rug here. It gets really warm down in the bottom of the stadium. But the corners are all open here, so you get more air flowing through this stadium than you would a normal stadium. Just keeps it cooler. That's a sailing hooked kickoff by Langloh that goes out of bounds, and that'll cost him 5 yards, and he'll have to do it again. In case you're wondering if this is a record, and Todd Barry was for turnovers, I don't know, because there is no official record kept. Let's pause 5 seconds right here so our ABC stations can identify themselves. The story of the ball game, very simply, turnovers. Hawaii has 6, Michigan State 1. The Spartans have converted 4 of those turnovers into points. 2 touchdowns by Blake Ezor and field goals by John Langloh. The extra point was blocked. That's why we are at 19.
And 4 of the 7 possessions that the Spartans have had has started in Rainbow territory.
Mark off 5 yards now after kicking the ball out of bounds, and Hawaii will move their people up just a bit. Seidner is the deep man. He's the speedster. Almost broke one earlier. He has to run all the way across the field to catch this one, and he does, back at the 6. Gets to the 30 and out to the 33. On Saturday, ABC Sports will take a look back at some of the year's more exciting moments in golf. Championships of the USGA featuring Curtis Strange's 2nd straight U.S. Open win. That's at 2 Eastern, 1 Central, and 3 Pacific. And after golf, except on the West Coast, college football, Georgia Bulldogs, Syracuse Orange in the Peach Bowl from Atlanta. That's at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific next Saturday here on ABC Sports. 33-yard line for Hawaii now with 56 seconds to go in the first half. Spread formation. Gabriel back, sets up a screen. Farmer, and not a whole lot. A lot of movement, a lot of east-west stuff, but not a whole lot of north-south. Bobby Wilson and Carlos Jenkins in for the defensive play. 2nd down 6 coming up here. Pick up a 4.
I think what the Rainbows of the WAC are finding out is that this Michigan State team has dominated the Big Ten in defense. It was a very, very solid defensive team.
Gabriel searches around, can't find anybody. Now he's got to run it himself and heads for the sidelines and tiptoes out of bounds. At the 47, one of the Spartans went up and over a table and gets up a little gimpy. Bill Johnson, number 96. Johnson pursuing Gabriel, the quarterback, kind of shoved him in between the tables and wound up getting the worst of it.
Those tables are pretty close to the sideline. You know, one of the surprising things here, Keith, in the first half is the fact that Percy Snow, the 2-time All-American, has only made 3 tackles. You really haven't called his name that much.
Nope. Gabriel did get the first down for the Bows and back to throw again. Goes underneath. There's one by Percy.
Okay, sorry, Percy. His ears must have been burning.
And they were laid back, too. Boy, I mean, he flat out zeroed in on Seidner, and he hit him full bore.
What a great career he's had at Michigan State. You know, he was a big fan of Jack Lambert. Jack Lambert was the outstanding middle linebacker for the Steelers when George Perlis was there, the stunt 4-3. It was Lambert's inside linebacker position. And one of the reasons he went to Michigan State was because of Perlis and the opportunity to play that middle linebacker.
And both of them guessed right, didn't they?
You know, he averages 15 tackles a game. And, you know, Doesn't sound like many, or it may, but you know, when you really get down to it, 15 tackles, that is a lot.
Coming up at halftime, news report of the end of the halftime show from the Aloha Bowl, featuring Crystal Gale. You have 4 seconds remaining. This should be, unless there's a penalty, the last play of the first half, and the ball is at midfield for the Rainbows.
This may be the old rainbow, not the alley-oop, the rainbow.
That's what it is. Incomplete, and the half is over. So the Michigan State Spartans lead the University of Hawaii Rainbows by a score of 19-0. And we'll be back with halftime from the Eagle Aloha Bowl after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Areas of collegiate athletics, but right now, I would imagine, Doctor, you're concerned about your coach and where he might go. George Perlis rumored as one of the people involved in the New York Jets situation.
Yes, apparently they're interested in him. They haven't made any official contact with him, and we're concerned about that. We think George is a wonderful coach in every dimension, maintaining integrity and quality as well as winning.
He, however, has become a candidate, I understand, for the AD job, and that you're losing a good man in Doug Weaver.
It's really difficult when you have both, but we hope that George will stay with us and ultimately perhaps be our athletic director.
And the prospect of, well, let me ask you this question. Does he have a escape clause in his contract? Can
George,
he go?
well, he has a 10-year contract, but we would allow him, of course, if it really was a tremendous offer that he couldn't turn down. We'd rather that not happen. And that's one of the things that concerns us, of course. Contracts should be honored by both sides.
All right. Phone rings at both ends, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
And the fact that Penn State becomes a member of the Big Ten, that's going to affect some changes on the face of it down the road.
Yeah, now we become the Big 11, and it causes some scheduling problems, some travel problems, but Penn State is a wonderful institution, has a great athletic tradition, great academic tradition, and has great integrity in its sports.
Solve it. Invite Notre Dame.
Well, Notre Dame, I don't think, wants to become a member of a conference. They are a national team. You know that.
Right. You're also involved with the Knight Commission, which is in the process of assimilating information and making recommendations and perhaps plotting the course of collegiate athletics for the next few decades. Is that progress noticeable at this juncture, or are you just getting it going?
Just getting underway. It's chaired by Father Chad Hesburgh and Bill Friday, the former president of the University of North Carolina. And we think we're going to take a hard look at intercollegiate athletics and make some serious recommendations as the changes that should be made in order to maintain quality and integrity together.
It's time. We've got to put some pressure on those particular points, don't we?
Yes, we think there's too much emphasis on the financial aspects of the game and not enough emphasis on academic integrity. We think those are the really main issues, and that's what we're going to focus our attention on initially.
John, it was good to see you.
Good to see you, Keith. Thank you very, very much.
Dr. John DiBiagio.
I'm a member of a conference. They are a national team. You know that.
Right. You're also involved with the Knight Commission, which is in the process of assimilating information and making recommendations and perhaps plotting the course of collegiate athletics for the next few decades. Is that progress noticeable at this juncture, or are you just getting it going?
We're just getting underway. It's chaired by Father Chad Hesburgh and Bill Friday, the former president of the University of North Carolina. And we think we're going to take a hard look at intercollegiate athletics and make some serious recommendations as the changes that should be made in order to maintain quality and integrity together.
It's time. We've got to put some pressure on those particular points, don't we?
Yes, we think there's too much emphasis on the financial aspects of the game and not enough emphasis on academic integrity. We think those are the really main issues, and that's what we're going to focus our attention on initially.
John, it was good to see you.
Good to see you, Keith. Thank you very, very much.
Dr. John DiBiagio, President, Michigan State University. And Hawaii now with a big mountain to climb, down 19-0, trying to effect some kind of an offense. And the first thing you've got to do when you're involved in offense is hold on to the football, because they gave it up 6 times in the first half and made that 19-point lead for Michigan State relatively easy. The Spartans had one drive of 65 yards. Otherwise, all of the movement of the ball toward the Hawaii goal line was over short distances. Garrett Gabriel now looking at 2nd down and 7 Ball just short of the 30-yard line. Plants and goes outside. He's got one-on-one out there with Dane MacArthur. And Harlan Barnett won't buy it and takes him down with very little gain. The stats at halftime.
Look at the turnovers, 6-1. We've been talking about the whole time. Time of possession is double in favor of Michigan State, and also the total yardage is double in favor of the Spartans. No question, the story of this ball game has been the turnovers, and I'm sure George Perlis is thankful for all the gifts, but feels like that he could win this ball game without all that help. I'm sure Bob Wagner would like to try that one time.
3rd down and 5 now for the Rainbows. They don't have any choice now. They've got to start throwing. His base receiver, primary receiver, fell down, and Roscoe then gets up and makes the catch. So Gabriel was fortunate that his offensive front was able to buy him an extra couple of seconds, and he completed the pass.
You know, Hawaii has not been shut out all year. Take a look on the right side. This is their schedule. Look at the points they've scored. 31-63. They lost. Wyoming scored 15, but they've, you know, being shut out in the first half is something new to them. I mean, this is an offense that can score points.
Quarterback keeps it. And on 1st down, penalty flag after the play was done, and it's going to go against Michigan State. And I think Percy Snow is the man that got it.
See that graphic there? They scored 56 points against BYU.
Personal foul, Michigan State. So that's going to give the Rainbows the 1st down on the Spartan side of the field.
Right side of your screen, right there. Percy Snow hitting back and then pushing. That's Robinson, number 71, that got in a little bit shoving, and it's always the guy that retaliates. Robinson may have pushed him a little late, but everybody saw Snow swing back at him.
So that puts the football 1st down at the Michigan State 37. This is the furthermost point Hawaii has had on the Michigan State side of the field, and the quarterback, Gabriel, fakes the handoff to Farmer and falls down as he lost his footing coming off the handoff. And there's a loss on the play. The ball comes back a yard. The 4 lost fumbles by Hawaii ties an Aloha Bowl record, one that the Washington Huskies had but didn't want in 1982. And the interception, if there is another, the interception record is 2, so if there's another one, that'll be a new one. 2nd down and 12. Gabriel throws hard, gets Roscoe, and Roscoe coming back to the ball almost gave up the 1st down. No, they don't. You don't give it up there, Chris, where you first caught it. He was coming back toward the quarterback, and he may or may not have his 1st down.
There's Roscoe here in motion. He's just going to go down and curl to the inside. The inside receiver is going to come to the outside, and the throw will go here to the inside man. Roscoe at the bottom of your screen. This is well designed zone. Just try to get in between the the linebackers. And he kind of fell back toward the original line of scrimmage. May have cost him.
Now he got about a half a ball. Roscoe has caught 4 passes, 46 yards. And the ball is now at Michigan State's 27, 1st down Hawaii.
You know that Bob Wagner had to really be upset with the way his team played in the 1st half. Well, he just told them to come out, play the way they're capable of playing, the way they played all year, and see what happens.
Farmer can't get much room. Maybe a yard, and that's about all. Percy Snow involved in the defensive play here. Talking to Percy before the game, I asked him about the option and the spread type of offensive formation they'd be looking at and what trouble it might cause, and he put it this way.
We haven't seen one particular team running, but, you know, playing against high-powered teams like Miami and Florida, which are, you know, they're a good passing team, and Notre Dame probably the best option team in the country. So, you know, just playing against Hawaii, we just have to prepare ourselves you know, to face both of them, you know, the option and the pass.
Up the middle it
It's
goes,
gonna be a
complete to
challenge,
Rusko, and Rusko will have a first down for Hawaii at the 11-yard line. You know, Gabriel started to run with the ball and then realized that Rusko had broken loose, was coming back toward him, and he let Chris have it. Otherwise, he probably, the quarterback, could have run for the first down.
Well, Gabriel is starting to settle down. I think the entire offensive unit is settling down and moving the football.
Michigan State 11, first down Bose. Gabriel kept it and is taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Travis Davis. And there is a stellar performer on the defensive front for Michigan State, whose name I've not called today. Travis, highly regarded, 275-pounder from Warren, Ohio. And he leaves the field.
Touchdown! 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 Touchdown!
Cliff Confer replaces him. It's second down, 11. Ball coming back after that yard loss to the 12, and Gabriel checking off. Straight drop, quick throw, touchdown, Rusko.
You said he was checking off, Keith. Intelligent quarterbacks see he wants this man here. He's checking off. What he wants is this man to run a slant. Normally, their safety here is lined up back here, but he moves up here to cover him, and that's what he saw, and this is why he checked to the receiver at the left side of your screen to run a slant. He saw nobody in the middle of the field and made the check. Good call.
Jason Elam from Snellville, Georgia for the extra point, and he hits it right into the crowd. Grabbed by a Michigan State man. Ball is rolling around on the field, and finally it goes down all the way back on the Hawaii 48-yard line. Jason Elam, I don't know if he's hurt or not. Now, they didn't say anything about him being injured. He came to Hawaii as a result of Paul Johnson seeing him in a kicking camp. He's had very good 2 years here before the ball game. Practically every other kick was like that, really down low, and that one went right into the back of the offensive blockers.
Take a look at it from behind the defense.
I mean, that thing there was
no height on it whatsoever.
No chance at all.
You know, we were watching him before the game, and he just wasn't kicking well.
So his kicking mechanics right now are out of whack for some reason. Anyway, Hawaii is on the board, finally.
Today, more people than ever are getting a kick out of this hot shot. Interstate batteries hit the road fast with all the cranking power and reserve energy you need for even the worst curves in the weather. And Interstate has twice as many dealers than any other battery company in America, so you're never left stranded. For an Interstate battery dealer near you,
All you got to do, call 1-800-CRANK-IT. Get the power that goes on and on and on, yeah.
You know, Thrifty Car Rental has variety for everyone.
I can rent a new car from Thrifty and save money, money, money. Oh, yeah.
Enjoy luxury and savings. Rent a new Chrysler 5th Avenue with unlimited mileage, just $36.95 a day. 72-hour advance reservation required.
Thrifty, a lot of car rental company for incredibly little. Call 1-800-for-cars and away you go.
From the ABC Sports College Football Production Team, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays!
I'm sure glad that catamaran was tied to the dock. That crowd had never made it back.
Good crew.
Yes, sir. 9:45 to go in the third quarter. 19-6 now, and Kahn will kick off. You realize that Hawaii hasn't punted all day. There's a little chip shot over the head of the Michigan State man and out of bounds, and they were trying there for the onside kick, I guess.
Yes.
It looks that would obviously be what you would think they were trying to do. He just kicked it too far.
go back to the touchdown. There, Roscoe run a slant. Donaldson, number 25, should not give him the inside. He should be on the inside technique, they call it. Here's the reaction of the quarterback. He's had a tough day, but Gabriel finally gets one in there.
Well, I would say that Bob Wagner's going to go home tonight, kick a door, and say, I knew it. The turnovers in the kicking game, because that's exactly what he said would be the big difference.
No question, and we talked to him, and the kids had to be nervous coming in. This is their first bowl game ever. You know, they've been trying to get in a bowl game. Finally, they're in one, playing at home, and sometimes that puts more pressure on you playing at home than it does if you're playing on the road.
Well, Michigan State obviously had an option there as to whether or not to take the ball, or at the point where it went out of bounds, or let them penalize Hawaii 5 yards. Well, the ball was kicked out of bounds at the 38, so they took it there, and Blake Ezor couldn't find any running room as the Rainbow swarmed him. So it is 2nd down and 10. The lead now is only 13. Big defensive series for Hawaii. Enos is sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Mike Tressler was the first man. Delmar Johnson was the second one.
Two of the smallest men on the field, Tressler and Johnson, are the men that caused the problems that time for the Spartans. You know, in the first half, Keith, we've been talking about the size, the David versus Goliath syndrome in this ballgame. The physical strength of Michigan State destroyed the finesse, the options of the Rainbows. The Rainbows hope that the second half will be more their way.
3rd and 15. Penalty flags down. Deep pass downfield. Bradley's there. Incomplete. But there's a penalty flag. Remember it, and it may be an offside against Hawaii.
Dead ball, false start.
Nope.
Offense.
Somebody moved on the offensive side, and the Rainbow was in his rights and taken off a little early.
Well, this is the first sellout that the Aloha boys had, 50,000, and I think Michigan State said they brought about 2,000 people over. So the rest of them, if the Rainbows can get this something going, this stadium will be on their side. The crowd will be behind them, no question.
Well, they're marking off 5 yards.
It may have been a dead ball foul before the snap of the ball. Yeah.
Otherwise, they refuse it and bring up 4th down. Yeah. So it's dead ball foul, and it makes it now 3rd down and 20. And they go right back to that same fly pattern because it's just about as good as the punt, even if it's intercepted. Now for Dan Enos. He's looking for Bradley. He throws for Bradley. Bradley catches it, and he catches it just past the marker for a 1st down. Can you believe it? Kim McLeod was there, and Bradley has owned McLeod pretty much on big plays today.
He's going to release inside of the linebacker. That's Oldham. Now McLeod will come right to the right of your screen. Now he throws this ball between the linebacker and McLeod. You see the mark there on the right side. The forward momentum picked up the 1st down, and that's a big, big 1st down for Michigan State.
It's 3rd and 20. And they got it. And this is Ezor. And they just simply took momentum right out of a white shirt and put him in a green shirt with that pass completion. Sure. The ball just inside the 47 of Hawaii now, with Michigan State possessing it. And 2nd down and 5 coming up. Same play. 1st down and then some. Mark him out just short of the 30. And another Michigan State 1st down. Next Monday, New Year's Day, ABC Sports kicks off 1990 with 3 college football bowl games. Starting at 1:30 Eastern, Illinois and Virginia in the Florida Citrus Bowl. Then the Michigan Wolverines, Bo Schembechler's final game, against Southern California in the Rose Bowl. And finally, the USF&G Sugar Bowl with second-ranked Miami against SEC co-champion Alabama. That's New Year's Day on ABC Sports. This is Highland Hickson, number 30, into the ball game. That's his second play of the game, the junior from Fort Lauderdale. And the Spartans right now, running left-handed, are starting to make it look easy, aren't they?
Well, they're running to their left, which is over Bob Kula and Eric Moten. They're 2 big offensive linemen. Hickson, as you see, goes off. He went to the same high school in Fort Lauderdale as Lorenzo White. He went to Dillard High School down in South Florida. Lorenzo White, a pretty good halfback at Michigan State in his time.
Not bad. Second down, 1.5 yards. Duckett, Montgomery line up now in the eye. This is Duckett. Pretty good lick there. And looks like he's probably short of the first down, which will bring up 3rd and short. It was Joaquin Barnett, junior from Carson, California.
Michigan State offensively, where they rank in the Big Ten. Like to run the football first and throw it second. Most teams do.
Chains on. That much. Now, there were a lot of people of Hawaiian heritage who wound up going. Biggie Mooney was the one that started it. And Duffy Doherty certainly implemented it.
A lot of Hawaiians went to Michigan State.
Former Governor George Ariyoshi also Michigan State student. This is Ezor up the middle. Enos and Ezor. And Blake now goes over 100 yards. He has 27 carries. He has 102 yards. And 2 touchdowns. It is first down for Michigan State at the Hawaii 18. Ezor, good move, but runs into traffic and will come away with about 1 yard on that carry.
This area of the field, Keith, is where a defense like Hawaii's, who likes to gamble and blitz anyway, really gets unpredictable. As you see at Stant, I believe, 96.
Yep.
Coming off.
Looks like a stinger because
yeah.
he's dragging an arm.
Yeah. But this is where their defense really gets unpredictable and dangerous. Offensively, you got to be careful what you call. You don't want anybody free coming in and sacking the quarterback or knocking the ball out of the running back's hand. But they can really get dangerous down in this area of the field. And really, they just have nothing to lose. They just cut loose and come after you.
Michael Colson is outside now at the cornerback position, and he's guarding Courtney Hawkins. And Hawkins has been pretty quiet. They go the other way with it. And the pass is complete for what appears to be another first down. It's Dwayne Young, the tight end, finally getting a chance to catch a ball, the junior from Kalamazoo. He wears number 29, which is an unusual number for a tight end.
Here's a tight end, Young, here, and the strong safety is right here. The strong safety comes, and Young is just going to slide out in between him. See, he said, oh, I should have covered him. No, I'm going to blitz. Now Briggs, the free safety, has to come over and make the play.
And Briggs weighs 190, Young weighs 255. So they got the mismatch they wanted, and here comes Ezor again. And he's shirt-tailed by number 51, Lewis Randall, back in the ball game at linebacker. And dragged down for an apparent no gain. I guess they strapped Lewis up. He's back in the fray.
Number 51 is Randall. Good to see him back in there.
7-yard line now. 2nd down and goal for Michigan State. You know, this is the 3rd time they've been inside the 10-yard line with a first down, 1st and goal, and they had an intercept and field goal. Enos trapped back at the 15, still standing, throws it. Ezor dropped it. They're going to call him down because I don't think that was a forward pass.
Again, the aggressive blitzing defense was Randall in there, number 51. The outside strong safety was blitzing. You know, it's just, you cannot try many play action passes down here. You can't turn your back because you don't know who's going to be coming from where.
Number 3, Michael Colson, started walking back to the huddle and then went down on one knee. I don't know whether he's hurt, whether he's exhausted, but he had to stop. Just went down on a knee, and the official spotted him, and he leaves the game.
I think he may be a little exhausted.
Yeah. He's been running a lot because Hawkins is on that side with him, and Hawkins is obviously running on every play, and he's been pretty quiet, so apparently Colson's been doing a pretty good job. 3rd down and goal, and they are now back at the 16. And Enos down the middle. It is intercepted. He threw it right to him. This is Walter Briggs. And caught from behind. Penalty flag goes down at the 26. Probably a push in the back or a clip. You got a Michigan State man down on the field. That's big Eric Moten is down. Ankle or knee? It looks like it might be ankle.
Penalty is blocking below the waist on the return team. Hawaii's football, 1st and 10. Penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal line. 1st and 10.
Blocking below the waist on a return. Obviously what caused the injury to Moten. Here's the last play. He's trying to get the ball to Hawkins down here, but their free safety right here is Briggs is just going to go over and make the play. Briggs, number 4, was the most valuable player for this Rainbow team this year. Picked off 9 passes. 2nd team All-American, was a former quarterback, and is looking to really break this thing big.
Well, Enos had waited a little bit. He might have had Hawkins free because Courtney had broken outside, but he threw it inside, and the result was interception.
Now, for a limited time, get a guaranteed rebate at your Jeep and Eagle dealer. If the rebate increases on your...
Rainbows now trying to effect a comeback. Trailing 19-6, they own the football just outside their own 10 after the penalty for blocking below the waist after the interception. Gabriel back. Got to get rid of it. Down he goes right about the goal line. It is not a 2, not a safety. He is outside at about 1.5 yards from the goal line as big Bobby Wilson got a hold of him, and Wilson at 280 pounds, you know is going to win that.
Bobby Wilson, just a junior, has 3 sacks on the season. This is his 4th. He will be the guy in that defensive line next year. Perlis says that in losing his 4 starters, that Bobby Wilson is going to be a star. He showed why right there.
Loss of 9 yards. 2nd down and 19 from the 2. Out of the end zone, Gabriel. Got to hurry up. Gets it off. Short. Catch made by Derek Branch from Dallas, Texas. Falling back inside the 10.
Gabriel has got to realize that this Michigan State defense is not going to give up anything cheap. They have led the Big Ten in run defense the last 4 years. They've been the toughest team to score on in the Big Ten the last 3. and they've missed by 1 yard this year, being the total defensive leader for a 4th straight year. So they have dominated the Big Ten defensively.
3rd down and 12. Gabriel's pass is short hop, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Catch. Whoa.
It looked to me like it was short hop, but the umpire, who would have had the best shot of it, was still looking at the defensive offensive line. Well, you're not for sure, but it looked like he did get his hands under it. Whether it went all the way past his hands, but
doesn't matter.
We'll have to say it's a catch.
1st down at the 24 for Hawaii. Rainbows have a little room now. They tried again with Farmer in the middle, and there's nothing there for Jamal. I would think they must have some plays in the book in which he catches the ball. And at 225 pounds, he could get out there one-on-one and cause a little damage, couldn't he?
Well, they've tried a couple of little screen passes to him and little dumps, but they've been well defended. That is a big stat right there. 8 rushes for 18 yards. He came in with a 5.0 average and over 1,000 yards in the season.
2nd down and 8. Branch can't hold it. That's called thundering hooves of Percy Snow.
It's called footsteps, isn't it?
Yep.
Snow is the... There's Percy dropping back. It's a well-designed play. Percy was probably yelling or growling or something, said, "I'm coming," but Snow is the first player. We mentioned earlier he won the Butkus and the Lombardi Awards this year. He's the first collegiate player ever to win both awards.
Gabriel had hit 6 passes in a row before that one. It is now 3rd and long. 3rd down and 8. All they had to do was catch that one, and they had the 1st down. They've got it now as it's hauled in by Leonard Lau. Well, Hawaii's trying to put old Mo back in the white shirt again, aren't they? That'll be 1st down, Rainbows at their own 48. 19-6. Michigan State. We're coming to the close of the 3rd quarter. Steps away from the pressure, gets his pass off, deflected, intercepted. Intercepted by Canelo, his 2nd interception of the day. And that's 7 Hawaii turnovers. 7.
Anytime a ball is tipped down the middle of the field, only bad things can happen for the offense. Good pressure coming on Gabriel from the right side, forces him to step up in the pocket, then is all out of whack. He throws the ball wobbling and tipped. Ike Winello, former All-State quarterback, knows what to do with it. Gets his 2nd interception, as you mentioned.
So Michigan State will take over at their own 43. All right, the Rainbow defense got to come out here one more time. Eric Moten has sprained an ankle, may not come back, we're told, so he's not going to be in there. And Chris Sunland. Sunland's a defensive coach. This is Ezor. And Ezor is dragged down just about the line of scrimmage. And a penalty flag. We've had a few of those today, haven't we? Almost as many flags as turnovers. That's a hold against the Spartans. You know what that tells me?
Getting tired.
There you go.
Getting tired. It is a little warm out there, and obviously from the artificial turf, it's going to be a little warmer. One interesting thing, Hawaii plays their games at night, so they're a little bit probably uncomfortable playing on this artificial turf during the day. See all their players that have just been on the field with towels over their head over on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't care if you do live here. You're not immune to it, are you?
Yeah.
This is my third Aloha Bowl, and I've yet to see any rain during a ball game. I don't remember any anyway. I guess they've had some in times past. 8 flags on the Spartans. 8 penalties for 75 yards. They let the clock run out now. After 3 quarters of play, it's still a ball game. Only a 13-point difference. And we'll be back with the Eagle Aloha Bowl after this message and a word from our ABC station. Ohio. They're from everywhere. And I don't blame them. I was in Illinois last week. Champagne and the high for 3 days was 2. Handoff goes inside. Blake Ezor breaks it big. 1 block, and he's gone. But he still turns in a big run, adding to his totals. He's on a record pace. And it'll be first down, Michigan State on the Hawaii side of the field at about around the 43-yard line.
It's that offensive line. Sunland 64 is in there for Moten. He's fighting his man, the center there, Pearson. Anytime a back like Ezor has a hole to run through, you know the big guys up front must be doing something right.
Highland Hickson comes in as Ezor goes out to get a breath, and Hickson carries and will pick up about 3 yards down to the 40. We're in the final quarter of play.
Third quarter stats, the total number of plays, 55 for Michigan State. That's 17 more than Hawaii in the first 3 quarters. Turnovers continue to be a problem for Hawaii. And total offense heavy in favor of Michigan State, although Hawaii did rack up some yardage there in the third quarter.
At the conclusion of today's Eagle Aloha Bowl telecast, we'll announce the selections of the most valuable players of the game from each of the teams. Eagle will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to help the qualified students as they pursue their subjects, their chosen fields at their respective universities. This is Tico Duckett. And Duckett will take it inside the 35 down near the 34. And now we are told definitely that Eric Moten is not going to come back in the ball game. We told you earlier about the number of Hawaiians that have gone to the Michigan State. You've got a penalty flag they're working on now. Gosh, the names go on and on and on and on and on. But 2 of the more famous would be Bob Apisa and Dick Kinney. Mike Adamley has them in hand down there, and we'll be talking to them in just a moment. Bill Richardson and his crew right now sorting this penalty out.
Face mask against the defense. Automatic
It's
first
face
down.
mask. It's against Hawaii. Let's join Mike for a moment.
Well, Keith, they played on that legendary 1966 team of Duffy Doherty. Bob Apisa was the fullback. Dick Kenny was the place kicker, kicked the 47-yarder. Bob, you have some mixed emotions today. I know your heart lies with the Spartans, but you want the University of Hawaii to do well.
I went to Michigan State. To be corrected, my heart belongs to Michigan State. Although I'm from here, Mike, it's a great thrill just to be here and see the Spartans do it.
The Aloha Bowl, Eagle Aloha Bowl, has not done especially well in terms of attendance, but because of the University of Hawaii's presence and Michigan State, because of the Hawaiian tradition, it's packed.
Well, I tell you, Mike, I think this event here justifies the competition level that University of Hawaii has upgraded their program to. I know that they can hold their own. I'm especially thrilled to see the Spartans back in town. And I'd like to wish all my friends in Michigan across the country, go Spartans all the way.
Blake Ezor for a nice game. Dick, you're a little bit different than Bob. I know you root for the Spartans all the way.
Spartan deep green runs very deep, Mike, very deep.
How did this all get started, the pipeline, the Hawaiian pipeline to Michigan State?
My uncle Tommy Kaulakukui was coaching the University of Hawaii in the late 40s, early 50s. When he stepped down from coaching, he did some graduate work at Michigan State, became very good friends with Biggie Munn, who was head coach at the time, as well as Duffy Doherty, and that's how it started.
Gentlemen, it's great to see you. You look terrific, even though 1966 was a long time ago. Dick Kenny, Bob Apisa.
Ezor gets the first down, having been held a yard short.
I remember those two guys well, Keith. I was playing at Purdue at the time, and when they had George Webster, Bubba Smith, and
I think we need to talk to Mike. In 1966 wasn't that long ago.
I don't think it was either.
I remember it well.
Yes, I remember Michigan State all too well.
Timeout on the field right now with 12 minutes and 38 seconds to play. 19-6, and the Spartans right now trying to put a little door slamming act together here and stick it in the end zone. They will have first down, first and goal at about the Hawaii 9 when play resumes. And in collegiate football, they're all PhDs, the geriatric 6+1. There is one, however, who is not. He also plays the banjo, and he's not there right now. He's athletic director, retiring soon, Doug Weaver. But they are a fun group, and they are...
They played all the Spartan games?
Yep. First and goal. They go back to their money man today. In fact, all season, Blake Ezor, and he will have maybe a yard. The Bows had a shot at him behind the line of scrimmage, and Augie Apelu missed him. Augie is from San Jose, big 91. He's one of the biggest guys on the, in fact, is the biggest man on the Rainbow team at 280 pounds. He is from San Jose, but obviously from his name, there's some history, ethnic history to his name and his family from this part of the world. Polynesia, Samoa, Tonga, somewhere down in here. This is Ezor dancing around and to the goal line and stopped just short. He's a tough runner, isn't he?
He is, as they say, he can move, cut, break, whatever you want to call it. Is how he got a lot of those yards this year. And like I said, he averages 124 yards per game, which is, I think, 4th in the country in rushing.
He now has a couple of Aloha Bowl records on 34 carries for 148 yards. That takes out Steve Broussard's record set a year ago. Third and goal from the 1. Ezor stopped. Did not get there. Credit Manley Williams with the first hit.
You know, as good as he is out in the field, being the shifty, nifty runner that he is, the smaller backs have a tougher time inside the 5-yard line because they don't have that power. There are usually not many big openings in the line down inside the 5, and there aren't any here. A bigger back may be able to push himself over, but a smaller back's going to have problems.
Hickson is in at tailback, the bigger back, over the top, touchdown. Fresh legs, 210 pounds, and he soars over the stack. And that may have done it for the Spartans at 10:13 to play in the ball game. Hickson, 210-pound junior from Fort Lauderdale. And apparently the Morris Watch was thinking just like you, Bob, get the bigger guy in there and get me a pair of fresh legs to go over the top, and it worked. Langloh for the extra point try now. The holder is Randy Vanderbush. The snapper is Kerry Mitchell. Right now, Joaquin Barnett's coming off the field for Hawaii. And they got to get somebody out there that leaves them with just 10. And the man going onto the field is number 90, Jerry Winfrey. Trying to make it a 20-point lead right here. Good.
Take a look at it from behind the defense. Just straight blocking, nothing fancy, and that's the way it should be. Hickson gets over the top. You don't need much down there to score a touchdown.
And so with 10-13 to play in the ball game, Michigan State leading now by 20. There have been so many turnovers in the ball game, it's hard not to say that all the points haven't come off turnovers, but the truth of the matter is they have. 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals. Now Hawaii gets the ball back, and it is Jeff Seidner who is the deep man for the Bulls. He almost broke one earlier. Only 10-13 remaining now and a 20-point deficit. But Rainbows would certainly like to go out with a little flair here. But turnovers continue to haunt them. John Langlow hangs it up. Seidner drifts under it at the 11. Kind of got in the stack there in the crowd and hit a little bit and then squirted out and picked up another 7 yards, and it's going to be first down just past the 36. And here's Mike.
Well, Keith, not everybody in the George Perlis clan was able to make it here to the Hawaiian Islands for the Eagle Aloha Bowl game. Amy Perlis, George's daughter-in-law, has a special Christmas wish to somebody very special to her back home.
Merry Christmas, Nicholas. We miss you. We love you and wish you were here.
Nicholas, George's 3-month-old grandson. Keith?
Oh, is he proud of him? Just bust. Little drop pass. Mahuka. Clayton Mahuka. And he just simply went through his hands. He was looking for some place to run and dropped the ball.
There's a list of some of the Spartans of yesteryear that from Hawaii. You look in the middle there. There's Kenny in '66 and Apiza and Wiedemeyer.
Well, Duffy took most of them. Biggie Munn started it.
Duffy was proud of it, too. He liked to come out here and recruit.
You kidding? Duffy liked to come out here and mine the Waialae golf course. That's where he got his walking around money with that 12 handicap ahead, that 15 or whatever it was. Pass is thrown, completed by Gabriel, and it's going to be good for a first down up around the 49-yard line to Leonard Lau. Leonard buried under Green down there, but to finally get up, he's going to walk off the field. We had kind of an uncomfortable thing going on at the university over in the city here over the last week or so, having to do with what happens in the aftermath of Hawaii's first NCAA bowl game. Gabriel back to throw, getting the pressure, and gets his pass off to Farmer. Farmer has a block and goes out of bounds at the Michigan State 36, first down Rainbows. But the coach, Bob Wagner, was talking to a newspaper reporter, and in the process, he mentioned that he thought perhaps his staff and himself should get a bonus for putting the team in the bowl game, or some reward for it. Well, eventually, the athletic director, Stan Sheriff, said, well, they're paid to win games, and the university president, Albert Simone, said, no, they're not going to get an extra bonus for having put the team in a bowl game and won 9 games. That's what they're paid to do. It's overemphasizing winning. There's the pitch outside. It goes to Ahuna, and Ahuna will have another first down as he reaches the 25, the 24 of Michigan State.
And Ike Winella getting over there just in time, or Ahuna would have gotten through, and it was clear sailing to the end zone. Take a look at the triple option. They've kind of been away from it. Now Gabriel pitches, and Ahuna is going to outrun the inside linebackers coming from the right side. Ike Winella makes the stop.
But in President Simone's comments about overemphasizing winning sort of reminds me of an old Fritz Chrysler quote. What do you propose to do? Teach him to lose?
Well, and it's common practice, too, around the country that coaches get bonuses.
That's tipped up in the air and incomplete. Dixon Edwards, who had an interception early on in the ball game, trying to reach up and pull down another one at 9 minutes and 9 seconds to play in the ball game. Tonight, the season finale of ABC's Monday Night Football. Minnesota-Cincinnati. It's at the Dome in Minneapolis. Winner goes to the playoffs. Loser goes home. 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific on ABC Sports. But I thought that was something that the University of Hawaii should have resolved behind the doors.
Yeah.
Which never should have got
the timing of it was so terrible, because this is the biggest thing to hit the University of Hawaii, to play in the Aloha Bowl at home. They thought they should have been here last year. They finally get in, and now this comes up in the middle of the week of the game.
Quick movement by Gabriel, getting the ball off the ground after dropping it, completing his pass to Farmer. And Carlos Jenkins won't buy it, and he's there to grab him just about the line of scrimmage. You'll pick up a couple of yards on the play, maybe a yard and a half. 8 minutes and 45 seconds. And you can see the problems that the Rainbows have had.
Second half started out a little bit better, and the interception now this drive.
Third down, call it 8.5, 9. Gabriel's checking off. Last time he did that, they scored.
Yeah, it looks like a blitz lineman by the defense. Now they're backing out of it.
Pass to the end zone. Slapped away. 2 defenders back covering Chris Roscoe. Barnett and Haller were both there.
Well, that time
and Gabriel's down. Hurt. Frustrated, exhausted.
That time they baited him. The Spartan defense baited him into checking off and then backed out of it, and then he was stuck with the play that he had called. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Here's a look at the end of that play. Outside the pocket, he just gets stuffed by Jenkins, number 51.
$8:16 to go. Hawaii calling time, 2 remaining. Watch this. Yahoo! Back in the days when you'd sit around the North Shore and the ocean was a lake back in the 60s and 70s, sit there for days waiting for something like that to happen. You'd have robbed a bank to get one of those.
Not me.
Yeah, you didn't have to do it. Gabriel stays in the ball game. It is 4th down. 4th and 9. Over the line of scrimmage. He's caught the ball in the end zone. Was he over the line of scrimmage? I guess not. It'll stand up. Touchdown, Rainbows.
Here's the man that's eventually going to catch the ball. These receivers are going to come across, but lately he's going to sneak out right down here as the quarterback will run out. But watch the man. Well, let's go back. We'll come back to it in just a second.
Zahn is in for the extra point. Jaron Kahn, and Kahn gets it up and through.
Keep your eye on the man on the end of the line.
But also keep your eye on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. He blocks down, first of all. Now he's standing around. He sees he's in trouble. And he says, oh, let me take off straight down the field. It's close.
No, I think he was over.
Well, here's the official down here at the bottom of the screen that should have been keeping an eye on it.
Whatever. It's 8:07 to play in the ball game. The home folks got to cheer. It's now 26-13. There's the numbers on your scoring drive with MacArthur catching the ball for the touchdown. I was so absorbed in whether or not the quarterback had gone past the line of scrimmage, I guess I never told you who caught it. Dane MacArthur is the Canadian from Prince Albert, Alberta.
Prince Albert.
You see where the ball was just what? Inside the 34, right? I mean, the 24.
25, about 24. He was right on it. He was right on it, or if not in front of it. Yeah.
Front foot was across it. Jason Elam has a full groin muscle. That's why he's not doing the kicking. Here comes your onside kick, I bet you. Well, they take all the mystery out of that. It doesn't have to go 10 yards. for the receiving team to catch it, and now you got a fight breaking out. Penalty flags are flying all over the place. Well, we had a fight last year at the end of the game, and we don't make it to the end of the game this year. Coach is jumping out in the middle of it, trying to break it up, get things back in order. Kind of dangerous for the coach to go flying out there, too. The players at least have a harness on.
You know, these games, these bowl games, are supposed to be fun, but I think for Hawaii especially, this is a serious thing. They've been kind of embarrassed with the 7 turnovers. They haven't played well in the first half. A lot of their home fans are here, and I think that in itself has kind of gotten a little bit under their saddle.
Bill Richardson's got to penalize somebody here.
Qualifying personal fouls against each team. The ball was recovered by the receiving team. 1st and 10.
Do we have an ejection? I think number 2, Corey Keys, Terry Whitaker was escorted off the field. And 74 for the Spartans, Bill Reese. So we had a couple of them ejected.
Neither of those players are starters or backups, by the way. So they came from the bench.
Well, while they're sorting out the mess here and getting back to the ball game, let's go back.
I don't know, Keith. Take a look at where that is. That's a good 2 yards inside the...
No, it isn't. It's short of the 23.
Okay. Watch that official's foot up the top. His left foot. It's about where the line of scrimmage was.
That's close.
But if he would have called it the other way, I think he would have been more wrong than not calling this one.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, Dane MacArthur, who caught that ball, is from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, where it regularly gets 40 degrees below in the winter. He said, I want to get out of there. I want to be a beachcomber. He headed for California. Nobody was interested. So his family was on a vacation in Hawaii. So he took things into his own hand, went by to the University of Hawaii, met with then defensive coordinator Bob Wagner. And Wagner says, his legs look pretty good. You can see there is that Izzo again. But Wagner said, send me some game film. Well, the small school up at Prince Albert didn't have game film at that time. So his mother and father made a homemade videotape and sent it out to Hawaii to Bob Wagner. They liked what they saw, and he ended up going to the University of Hawaii.
Had a good year, too.
Majoring in psychology, 3.81 graduate GPA, not too bad.
There was another fellow came out of a small town in Canada, too, kind of like that. 2nd down and 5. Here's Izor. They're pounding away, and he's down to about the 40, which leaves him a couple of yards short. A fellow named Reuben Mays went to Washington State.
Yes, sir.
37 carries, 152 yards, 2 touchdowns. As you see, those are records.
You know what I enjoy, Keith? Reading the media guide on some of these teams, especially Hawaii. They're a little bit different in their hobbies. You know, Michigan State, they'll enjoy basketball, tennis, weightlifting, or whatever. You look through the Hawaii media guide, you see skin diving, spear fishing, body surfing, things all common to the islands.
Was it movement or was it offside? Pelu was obviously in the neutral zone, and in the view of the officials was not thrown off.
Encroachment, dead ball by the defense.
Trying to anticipate the count, and got caught. So that's 5 yards and moves the ball down to the 35, and it's a 1st down. They needed 2 yards for the 1st down and get a 5-yard penalty. Clock running, 6 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the ball game, and Michigan State leading Hawaii by 13 points. Enos running away from the pressure, and getting something out of it. Manly Williams was in pursuit of him, and Manly number 66, 225 pounds, just couldn't quite run him down. Enos 190 pounds.
We're talking about Hawaii, and if you're wondering where they get their players, there's a graphic of over half of them come from the islands. California supplies 25, one from Australia.
One from Mississippi.
4 from Canada.
Enos talking right now to the trainers. He's hobbling and is apparently going to have to come out of the ball game. And the backup is Randy Vanderbush, and Enos is going to leave now. Manly Williams kind of shoe-topped him and tripped him up, and in the process, he sprained his ankle.
Enos is just a junior. He'll be back next year, as will Courtney Hawkins, their outstanding all Big Ten wide receiver. It's going to be a pretty good ball club next year. They only lose Kula on the offensive line. Their tight end is back. They have a lot of depth at running back. And defensively, they lose those defensive linemen. But as George Perlis says, defense is just a frame of mind. Will be a good defensive ball club.
Here's another quarterback from Indiana.
All right.
Franklin hands the ball to Blake Ezor from Las Vegas. He may go. Touchdown. No flag. What a day for Blake Ezor. 3 touchdowns, ties Anthony Allen's record, the former Washington Husky.
Well, he's exciting. He's a free spirit, as we mentioned. He's a little bit of a hot dog. He likes to get it going. He does a lot of this on his own, too. You give him a little bit of space. He's tough to knock off his feet. He's not going to be tackled with an arm tackle. A little bit of hot dogging before he gets in, but if you can produce, I guess you can do it.
I guess you can go ahead and fill out your MVP ballot, can't you? At least one half of it.
That's a 4-letter word, and it's got a Z in it.
33-13 now, as Langlo knocks the point up through the uprights. And 3 touchdowns, 38 carries, 178 yards for Blake Ezor. Here's another favorite hangout for the body surface called Sandy Beach.
Sportsman of the Year for 1989. If you don't know his story, he was a great player for Michigan State, back in the 60s with Dick Kenny and Bob Apisa. They were some of his teammates. But a decade ago, he was stricken with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. But through love and perseverance, and his wife, Lucy, they are here at today's game. They have won this great award. And Lucy, I know this means a lot to you and Charlie. What has allowed you to persevere? What has allowed you to endure through all this hardship?
I've always been a determined person. I've always been a determined person, but our faith in Jesus Christ has given us the strength to cope with our situation.
Lucy, Charlie are both a great story on this Christmas Day. We'll talk a little bit later on. And it's good to see you both, and congratulations. Merry Christmas. Keith, Bob.
God bless her.
Breaks your heart. Seidner at the 8. Had a hole, but just missed it. Just missed it. Gets up to about the 27-yard line. 33-13. Doing accumulating notes. You know that 80% of the population approximately in Hawaii, out of the 1.1, lives on the island of Oahu. And the private schools, and we in particular, St. Louis, Punahou, and Kamehameha, have been the dominant schools over most of the years in athletics. But it's starting to broaden out a little bit now, and as the islands develop and population increases, you're probably going to see a little. This is Mahuka breaking out of it and taking a lick and a half. Did Dixon Edwards hit him? But he took it and bounced up. So he got something out of nothing, didn't he?
He's only 5'9", but he goes 195, and he just ran into a linebacker. And they both went to the ground, but Mahuka came back first. Edwards getting up a little slowly.
The advance of the ball is out past the 31. But as Bob Wagner pointed out, it's the skill position, basically, that you can't fill right now. Gabriel is back and throws that one into the crowd. Gabriel is going to be sore tomorrow, because he's been pounded pretty good himself. Well, New Year's Day next Monday, we have 3 bowl games for you. Illinois, Virginia from the Florida Citrus Bowl, starting at 1:30 Eastern, followed by the Granddaddy, Michigan, USC, and Bo Schembechler's final game at the Rose Bowl. And finally, it'll be Miami and Alabama in the USF&G Sugar Bowl, all here on ABC. Garrett Gabriel's pass incomplete, off the hands of the intended receiver, who had gone down the sidelines, Roscoe, and come back at midfield and couldn't reel it in.
I know George Welsh and his Virginia Cavaliers were looking forward to getting down to Orlando for the Citrus Bowl, but that cold snap that's been going down through Florida is going to delay some of the beachcombing and the sunbathing that some of those guys had in mind.
Yeah, my goodness. What was it down in a year?
It was in the 30s.
30s in Miami.
In Miami.
4th down, they've got to punt it. The ball comes skipping back. This is the first punt of the day for Kyle Alou. He gets a bad snap and doesn't get a whole lot on the kick, but knocks it out of bounds, so there is no return. And the clock shows 4:26 to play after a 27-yard punt. But in looking at the various and sundry points to be made in the local media about the 1980s, the one that entertained me somewhat, Bob, was the fact that they'd figured out that cars per mile on the roads in Hawaii would be 395.
Who figured that out and how?
No idea.
Enos is back for the Spartans.
And on 1st down, pitches it back, and Ezor still going. And a penalty flag goes down as he goes out of bounds. Bill Richardson. And the penalties against Michigan State. I thought it was kind of interesting, too, that the average price of homes on the island of Oahu is $275,000, but it drops considerably in some of the other areas of the island.
Where the value of the land is. There's George Perlis, probably a coach of the best 7-4 team in the country. He lost 4 games this year by a total of 21 points. He lost to Miami, who are ranked 2nd. They lost to Notre Dame, who is in the top 5. Michigan is right there in the top 5, and Illinois was the other loss.
Well, if he splits those 4 games, he'll play on New Year's Day.
He's in a New Year's Day bowl game. That's right. He's been there. He's had 6 #1 draft choices in roles in 6 years.
Enos is taken down by number 41 for the Rainbows, Peter Wiedenz. That is the 5th sack of the Michigan State quarterback by the Rainbows, and the ball is put back on the 30-yard line. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. You heard the comments of Dr. John DiBiagio relative to George Perlis and whether or not what happens in the athletic director's chair. And, of course, there's the New York Jets situation. Another one. Number 31, Maeva. Down goes Blake Ezor.
Maeva, he is the, you ask him his hobbies, he'll say spearfishing and body surfing. He was an all Pac-10, all WAC player last year. David Maeva, only 6 foot, 206 pounds. He's an inside linebacker. The WAC conference, the WAC is more of a passing conference. And you can get by with smaller players. I think the only smaller team in the WAC is Air Force in Hawaii. Yeah.
They'll pitch it back to Blake again, and they cut him off at the pass and get him behind the line of scrimmage. So with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the ball game, and Michigan State leading 20 points, 33-13, they disdained the pass after their quarterback was sacked, and will punt it away now. The wind sort of swirls around and around and around, and the crowd, a sellout crowd here at Aloha Stadium, is now beginning to make their way to their transportation home. The kick by John Langloh takes a State bounce, picked up by Seidler, and back to the 38-yard line. Crowd is hooting and hollering. They wanted a clip downfield and don't get the call, and it's a 51-yard punt. Langloh's had a good day punting, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
50, 51, and 51. You always think of John as a place kicker, but shoot, he's popping it. There you go, Bob. Numatalolo is in the ball game at quarterback.
Numatalolo. I've been working on that name for 2 weeks.
Left-hander. Throws the ball to Jamal Farmer. Takes off a couple of people. Another one. And will pick up about 2 yards.
The problem is if the backup center for Hawaii gets in with the backup quarterback, get a flag on the play. There's the quarterback, Numatalolo. The backup center is Kalele Ike. If Kalele Ike snapped it to Numatalolo for the entire game, this would last about 10 minutes longer than it has.
And Kalani is from Waimanalo.
Oh, good.
Which is up the road from Kailua. We may have another ejection here. 57? 67. 67. It's Larry Jones. That's right. Larry Jones. And I think Larry was escorted to the rocking chair for the rest of the day. Well, I can understand the frustration.
Sure. This was the biggest game of the year for these guys. They strived to get in a bowl game, any bowl game, and now they got in their own Aloha Bowl, and it's frustrating when you don't play that well.
2nd down and 8. Numatalolo rolling out. He's now in a whole bunch of trouble, but you know what? He escaped 3 of those guys, and then finally is thrown down. I mean, the ones that could have really put a hit on him missed him.
Yeah. Wagner, we're talking about the recruits. He says a lot of kids are enthralled by the chance to live on the island for 4 or 5 years, but he's had to overcome a lot of barriers by people's misconceptions about Hawaii, like where it is, for one thing. He has to answer questions like, how far off the coast of Florida are you? What kind of money do you use? Can you convince my family it's okay to go to school in another country? He says when that happens, he says he knows it's time to pack up your suitcase and leave. You're not going to get that kid.
Well, he went to Columbus, Ohio to get signed.
Yeah.
There are 2 Georgians, one from Philadelphia, Mississippi.
And he was telling us that Canada is a big recruiting ground for him now, too.
It is now 4th down and 3. The ball is resting right on the 45. Numatalolo will put it up. The quarterback throw and get his 1st down. Oh, my goodness. The quarterback's hat came off. Percy Snow was involved in the hit. And Numatalolo gets up. Aquinello and Snow combined on the hit. And his hat came flying off, but there he is, walking around.
In Snow, in Percy Snow, you're going to see the 7th #1 draft choice in Perlis of 7 years.
45 seconds to play in a ball game. There's a timeout.
Our dentist gave us the word about healthier teeth and gums.
Baking soda. So we tried Arm & Hammer Dental Care, the baking soda toothpaste with fluoride.
A survey shows 2 out of 3 dentists and hygienists recommend baking soda for healthier teeth and gums.
My mouth feels minty fresh.
And clean.
Arm & Hammer Dental Care for healthier teeth and gums.
Put me in the freezer. I'll keep ice cubes smelling fresh. Arm & Hammer baking soda. One in the fridge and one in the freezer.
Batteries. There are live ones.
And there's dead ones.
Want to know any more? Ask Ace.
That's what I do.
Duracell batteries, C or D 4-packs are just 99 cents after rebate. And this bathroom scale is only $6.97.
Hey, Ace is the place for me.
Me too.
When I'm fighting dandruff, I want all the help I can get. So now I'm using extra strength Denerex with 39% more dandruff medicine. For my dandruff and itch, there's 39% more medicine in extra strength Denerex. For great looking hair, I can't get too much of a good thing.
At America's premier land-grant university, we've produced 5 Rhodes Scholars in 4 years, and the nation's most widely used anti-cancer drug. We're the home of the nation's Institute for Research on Teaching and the national superconducting cyclotron. We're proud to be the pioneers of the land-grant commitment serving people. On the banks of the Red Cedar, Michigan State University, East Lansing.
Well, the Rainbows, frustrated, trailing 33-13, running out the clock now on first down against the Michigan State Spartans. Passes down the middle, intercepted by Percy Snow. So Percy's had a big day, runs it back up to about the 45, and again, there's a little flare of tempers, and that is 8 turnovers in the ball game. 8. Those kind of numbers, you ain't going to win.
No, and that's the kind of ball that they play in the Western Athletic Conference. It's a passing conference. They throw the ball a lot, and a lot of times they can overcome it. But the Michigan State defense has just been too much for Hawaii offensively.
Now it's all a matter of just running out the clock to finish this one. As we look ahead to our assignment next Monday, will be the Rose Bowl at Pasadena. Larry Smith and the Southern California Trojans trying to win a ball game. Larry's 0 for bowls.
Larry Smith has done a great job there in the 3 years he's been there. He has won the Pac-10 3 consecutive years. The downside of that, he's lost 2 Rose Bowls, and he is assistant coach to Schembecker, and he'll be trying to win against Bo, who's going out in style, a lot of class. What an outstanding man.
They're going to run out the clock, and this one is going to end Michigan State 33, Hawaii 13.
George Perlis is holding his club on the sideline. When the teams go to the tunnel, they have to cross, and he's holding his team over there until Hawaii players get in, I think, just to make sure there's nothing that goes on.
Here's Mike Adamle.
Coach Bob Wagner congratulating George Perlis on a job well done. Today's final, Michigan State 33, Hawaii 13. And it's a tried and true story in football. You turn the ball over a lot, and bad things happen. I think that's what happened to the Rainbows today.
I think so. Some of it was option. It's a risky type of offense. When it works well, and sometimes you have some turnovers. But right now, Mike, my mind's on 2 people. My high school coach, this was his last game. This is a ball for him. And my athletic director, Doug Weaver, this is a ball for him. I can't wait to give him to him.
You went through a gauntlet schedule this year, but you finished off with a bang.
Well, we had a decent game. I'm a little embarrassed of all the extra things that went on in the game. I don't know what stimulated it, but it was a rough sidelines trying to correct people for the extra bumps and pushes.
George, congratulations on a job well done. One last question very quickly. The Jets thing. What can you say about it? We talked a little bit today.
I can't say anything because the position isn't open. But if it does open and they're interested in talking, yeah, I'm interested in talking.
Okay, congratulations, George. Merry Christmas. We'll be back after this message. Thank you, sir.
This is how a Ferrari Testarossa looks on the road. And this is how a Ferrari Testarossa looks to the road, where it ultimately responds through the contact patch of its Goodyear Eagle tires. The exclusive tires chosen by Ferrari for every Testarossa sold in America. Goodyear Eagles, because there really is a difference.
Another day comes to a close. And tonight, some people will rest a little easier because helping to protect their automobiles, their homes, their families is an independent insurance agent who compared the options and recommended Kemper. Kemper Insurance, coming through for more than 75 years. After all, if you can't sleep, you can't dream.
The Eagle Aloha Bowl most valuable players: Chris Roscoe from Hawaii, Blake Ezor from Michigan State. A check in the amount of $1,000 donated by Eagle to each of the school's general scholarship funds to further assist qualified students in advancing their education. Your final score: Michigan State 33, Hawaii 13. Tonight on ABC Sports, the season finale of ABC's Monday Night Football. Minnesota Vikings host the Cincinnati Bengals. Winner goes to the playoffs, loser goes home. Live coverage, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, tonight.
The Eagle Aloha Bowl, brought to you by the Jeep and Eagle divisions of Chrysler Motors. And by the companies of the Prudential. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
A promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve.